realised you can't hear me. Hopefully you can now. Let's see what we do. G'day out there. Realised you can't hear me. While I'm waiting, nobody else has turned up. Oh no, Farmers is there. G'day out there. Realised you can't hear me. While I'm waiting, nobody else has turned up. Oh no, Farmers is there. G'day out there. I'm giving multiples while I'm waiting. Nobody else has turned up. Oh no, Farmers is there. G'day out there. I'm giving multiples. There we go. It stopped. Why can't I hear Farmers? Oh, you can't hear me. You can't hear me, can you, Farmers? Now you should be able to hear me. Not convinced. Yeah, let's try again. That's looking better. No, still not connecting. Try again. Discord's playing up. Aha! Now you can hear me. It's all my work's fault. I was just yes, I fixed it. Thanks. I was looking at it. Are we there now? Yeah. I've thrown myself up a third screen and I'm a bit all over the place. Looking at, where am I? Yes. So, and I was going to try something different. So, hang on, let me send you a YouTube, not a YouTube, what do you call it? Zoom. A Zoom thing. Let's add you here. Copy that. Let's paste you that. There you go. And, well, that's flipping around. Put that up in case I see anybody else sneak in there. Now, Zoom, you should be hearing me. Oh, I can remember. I had a different meeting today and I changed things around, so I could change Zoom.
Echo.
Echo, yeah, you're going to get echo. If I do that, there we go. Should stop the echo. No? Is that echo from me or echo from you? It's me. Oh, okay. What am I echoing with then? Not a farm. Okay. Okay, so where am I getting the extra me? Okay. We're going zoom out to there. Good question. Was it me or was it you? Ah! So it was you. I was thinking, I'm sure I've closed all the holes. Okay. Do you want to play or you want to watch? Oh, Carl. Do you want to play? Do you want to watch, Carl? This is still Joe. So I can go to multiplayer so I can actually allow people to come and join. So unranked. Ranked? Let's go unranked. Let's see if people know the. Oh, I've got to move that out of the way so I can send to how to play. What I need to do so people can play, they need to know where to play. Go back, get out. We want to go to party. We want a party, we don't want to. Let's have a party. That sounds more fun, doesn't it? Let's go start the game. Life challenge. And then what I do is I go, what do we do? Let's play life challenges. Invite. Okay, so let me paste that to the chat. Anyone who wants to drop in can do. Paste that over here. So you go to there. See if they get you in. There you go. So let's see if anyone's turned up, will they? Who we got? Anyone coming in? There's farmers. Anyone out there going to jump in while we wait? You're welcome to. Let me know. We'll go in. Let's see what we've got live. Live challenges. Oh, go. I did. Let's go co-op. Start game. Got to work out where we are. I got music. Is that coming through my headphones? Okay. So you should see something too. There, farmers on your screen. Ugh. I reckon it's European. See, I'll ask this lady. Where are you? Where are we? Lady, where are we? Who does pipe work like this? Yeah. Well, maybe it's just because maybe it's a snow thing because we obviously don't have snow. So. Now I'm guessing we're in Russia-ish, or that part of the world. I haven't found anything more, so I'm going to throw something in there for starters. Say I'm roughly there. See if I can find something that gives me anything other than that. Anyone out there recognise this street? What have we got? I don't know. Oh! This one's got KBTBB1. What's... Okay. Who speaks Russian? Tell me what that says. I reckon this says automobile. Completely guessing, but ABTO, that would be auto. I don't think it tells me much else. Yeah, that happens. Nah, farmers, we're in here. You in there? Are you in here? Hang on a sec, I'll send you a link. Paul, you should be able to hear me, I hope. Hang on, where are you? We're just waiting. Ooh, that won't do you much good. I'll send you that link. I'll pick you a link that actually gets you somewhere. Try that link. There you go. That should get you in your DM. We were just waiting, trying to work out where in Russia we are. I don't know. I'm willing to guess that somewhere in this circle. You'll have to go in a minute, Clive. That's so good. I'd start at 9 and that's 5 minutes away. Tell me, Clive, where am I? Where in Russia am I? I'm willing to bet I'm somewhere in that circle. 500 point circle. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna. I'm gonna put yourself somewhere in that area, or near me somewhere, anywhere. Where's that Zoom? I can't use in Zoom. I can't use in. Oh, there's Paul's in Zoom. Where's my Zoom list though? Oh, that one. I see. Yeah. Okay. So you there? Oh, there. Let's go guess. Okay. Oh, I was close to just. But yeah. Because there's nothing over that way. As far as I can tell. I know there is, but it's a bit sparse over there. Okay. How are you, Paul? Can you hear me? Or can I hear you? Might be a better question. Ah, good. Glad to hear. Any great exciting things happened the last few days? It's a bit like same old, same old. I had a oh, sounds good. I had snags for tea. Snags and mash. It was pretty good. But I don't know. I reckon we're in the Netherlands. Farmers. I'm going there. So much so, I reckon I can say we're somewhere there. I can't say I've had much excitement. A little bit quiet at work, but do a few jobs here and there. What's that in Time Farmers? Where do you reckon? Oh, you reckon we're in Helsinki? Okay. Somewhere up here. Um, what do you reckon? We there yet? Somewhere about there? Okay. I'm going to get slightly this way, but let's go. What do you reckon? We can pull it down to... We can go down to... I'm going to go down to small. You're on the larger one. Okay, let's go. Oh, we're well off. It's all your fault. No points. Good enough. That might do. Sorry. Oh well. I think we've got to say something before. Ooh, you guys can see my screen. Yeah, that's a bit scary. Do you guys really want to see what's on that screen out there? Oh, they can only hear me. Like. No, definitely not. Why can you not hear you? That's not the way it usually works. R. Usually, I have my desktop audio going out, but nothing's going out. Why is nothing going out? Sorry, TT guy. Let me sort that out. I haven't changed anything. Yes, I did. I changed some stuff in here. Yes. Let me go into audio. Audio settings. Now, I usually have. You're having that. Okay, that seems to be working, and I can hear you there. Now, that is odd. Why is that happening that way? What you can't see is my OBS is got the output showing me, and usually I turn on the desktop audio to go on the output so that you guys can talk or whatever I say gets said, but it's not picking up. Zoom. That is strange. I could add another. Something's changed here. G'day, mate. How you going? Let me paste you while I'm here. I'm in Zoom. I'm going to send you a link, but I'm just having a bit of audio problem with going out to the stream for some reason. I'm just trying to work out what's. Yeah, but you can't hear everyone else or anyone else. No. Okay, TT guy, can you hear the others talk? Yeah, that's what it said in the quiet chat. Yeah. Now, can you? Yeah, I'm sending you a link. You can hear farmers, can't you, Paul? In Zoom. Oh, can't you hear farmers in Zoom? I'm not muted. If you guys can hear me, in theory, everything should be working. But I can see on my audio mixer that the desktop audio isn't going. Okay. Could that? Maybe. Hello. Can you hear me now? There we go. Can't you hear me at all? Can you hear me now? Well, that's what I'm trying to work out. What's going on? Okay, can you guys say something? Because I don't think they can hear you out there. No. So they're getting silence, they say. Yes. It's a bit odd. This is very weird. Okay, let me try something. Go to Zoom. I can hear you. Can't you hear me? Can you put your hand up if you can hear me? Yes, they can't hear you at. They can't hear you out in the stream for some reason. I can. I'm just trying to work out why they can't hear you out here. I'm just wondering whether I need to kick Zoom out. Because that seems to be the trouble. The Zoom is not coming over the out onto the. Yeah, well, that's what I usually do. Yes, you can't see what I'm doing, but I usually in OBS have desktop video turned on. Sorry out there, YouTube world. So I usually have desktop audio, and then whatever you guys say gets pushed out. But for some reason, you guys aren't coming through the desktop audio, and I'm trying to work out why not. Why not? Most odd. Yeah, no, I actually tried that. I tried that, believe it or not. Yeah. And I can see the levels anyway on the mixer. So I can see if you talk, I should see a level change. Yeah. So something is odd. So what's odd? What's odd? Very strange. Okay, let's close that. Just turn it off. Discord. Something in Zoom, I think, is the problem. Because I used Zoom for a different type of meeting earlier. And we hear two Timbos now. Sorry, that's very lucky of you, but no, apparently not. Which is odd. No, I can see on OBS it's not picking you up. Because OBS is what's going out. How can I be echoing? Okay. I'm wondering whether to restart the Zoom call. Just give me a sec. Can someone nick back into Discord for me? I'm just trying to work out if it's just Zoom or everything. And just have a little chat in there for a moment. And just Matt, you're still in Discord. Do you mind just saying unmuting yourself in Discord and just to say something for me? No. I need. Yeah. Doesn't matter. It's not working anyway. It's only so I can see is it the desktop or is it Zoom? That's all I'm trying to work out. Nah. Okay, thanks. Nah, that's not coming through at all, so it's my desktop. That's a pain. Yeah, I have a feeling it might be the OBS for some reason. It's not picking it up. No. Yeah. OBS is picking me up, but he's not picking up anything else, which is the weirdest thing I've ever... No, that's right. It's not picking up anything. Yeah. If I shut down OBS, of course, that ends the stream, but I'm trying to avoid that. But let me just play in here. Sorry, guys. I hate these little audio. Should be picking up. Output. Desktop audio should be picking up desktop audio. How annoying is that? So they can hear me and I can see that's going out. Obviously my microphone's going straight in. Desktop should be picking up everything. Something's gone awry. Okay. Really wanted to stream, but it's getting closer to doing that. Sorry, guys. I'll get there. If all this fails, I'll just... Well, that's a bit weird. So how can I hear that but not your microphones? Yeah. That's the weird thing, it's usually... Good. Yeah, it shows nothing. It's... Yeah. Got to be OBS somewhere. Yeah, so it's got to be OBS. Because... Okay. I'm going to stop the stream, guys, and restart OBS. So, sorry out there, if you guys... Yeah, I do. What I might do first is I'm just going to stop sharing in Zoom, because I am sharing in Zoom. Let's stop that. Come on, stop share. Okay, now I'm not sharing in Zoom. Still nothing there. Okay, and let's...
Welcome to the Tomb of Illuminate.
Oh, you don't want to hear that. And actually, you shouldn't hear that. Why can't you hear that? That should be going to there. Okay. Okay. Now, sorry out there in YouTube. You'll see me start up again very shortly. I'm just going to end. Now I can see you on the audio mixer.
Ah,
yeah, and I couldn't before.
Then you go on to the same scene selection as well, Loaded.
Yeah. So let me.
Weird.
Just an OBS thing, I think, for some reason. Wasn't picking it up.
Yeah.
Just being a pain in the neck, that's what it was. Okay, now I'll get the stream going again out there. Oh, so the stream's still running, so you guys out there can still get me, I think. You just heard Matt, yes. That's looking a little bit more promising. Let's see, let's do a test. Can you hear farmers?
Test.
Farmers, Can you,
Yeah.
can you
Hello.
speak? Can you hear farmers?
Can you hear me? Over.
Can you hear me?
No, I can't. Over. It's sounded
I can
like
see
it.
you.
Yes, that's looking like we're all back to the world has come back to us. Ah, how annoying. Okay.
Oh yeah, I've just heard it on the stream as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
we are back.
Yay.
Yay.
No
yes.
echoes? Any echoes or anything like that in the chat?
And they can see him as well.
Anybody echoing?
Yes, you should be able to see farmers. Particularly if I do this, you'll see him even better.
Do we have
There
to
you
see
go.
farmers?
Yeah, big farmers. Don't have his headphone on, so they can't recognise him.
Oh, bugger, don't know. I forgot to shave this morning. Don't. Oh. It's like sandpaper.
Oh, sorry, Blue. Hang on a sec. I'll
Oh,
send you a link.
I forgot to shave as well. Hair, look.
Hang on, I can fix it.
Oh, I've called on my headphones.
I'll send Blue a link. Sorry, Blue, been technical difficulties trying to resolve those. I hadn't been paying attention. Where's Discord gone now? Discord.
Where the farmers go running? Where's
He
he
ran
gone? Oh, he's
Oh!
he's gone. Yeah, that's better.
One of my spare ones.
Yeah, keep that on.
You can tell I don't use it because it's got a clear lens. They're usually tinted. Tinted in this sort of light.
There you go, Blue. Believe it or not, I wasn't going to start with.
I could go a bit Aussie actually. Hang on.
Oh, don't do that.
Yeah, so for the folks outside, Alan's not joining us today. He's got the
Got the
grandkids
grandkids.
with him today.
Yes.
Grand squeakers or whatever you want to call them.
Oh,
Hey!
that's. I don't know if that.
Well,
Call
it's
that
going to act
Aussie.
like Pratt. Where is silly at? Eh?
Where's the corks hanging down from the front?
I
Yeah,
ain't got any call. Sorry.
corks on string.
But it's very practical in this country because if it's sunny, it keeps the sun off your head, and if it's pissing it down, it keeps the rain off as well. And you can collect
Yeah.
it. Because it spends all its time folded up.
I've got a bit of dirt for us to get started. We want to start with Inzi. Let's start with something else. Hang on, I gotta pause this.
Bit of dirt, we'll just show a flat earth then. That's enough, isn't it?
Yeah, as you'd expect. Dip. I'll share this to you guys. So hopefully this is all working now. There you go. And Blue, oh sorry, Blue, you've muted, but yeah, just want to say g'day. How's it all
I've got a
going?
text from the school. From your school.
Oh God, this will be derpy.
Oh, this will be derpy, yes.
Or seeing who it is.
Flat Earth tests. So,
I know who Flat Earth Tests is.
yes. Now, he's got some predictions, so I thought we could go through
Oh yeah.
and see what we thought. Everyone can hear. Raise your hand if you can't hear.
This video is funny because it stems from a prediction that
can
I
you hear
made
that okay in Zoom?
the further north we went in the northern hemisphere, the
Yes.
bendier
Good.
and windier the roads would.
Can you hear that okay in YouTube world?
They can't see it.
I can't see it. Well, that would. I don't know. I don't think you're missing anything yet, but okay, let's
No,
go.
but they still,
And the further
They're
south
getting
we
the
went in
black
the southern
screen of
hemisphere,
vagueness again.
the straighter the roads would get. So
Oh,
I
there
try
we
not
go.
to take a conspiratorial approach to this topic because I just assume people have been wrong, not necessarily lying, but just wrong about the shape of the earth. But the more I look into this topic, the more I'm realizing there are a faction of people who have been hiding shit.
You know how I can tell he's a flat earther?
He's filming in the car.
Yeah. Till you tell.
And
Well, I presume that he's
there
actually
are
filming
predictions
as
to be
he's
made. If
driving.
the earth is bigger in the southern hemisphere, then if the earth were a globe, they would need to stretch the north and compress
What?
the south. So in order for the globe to match reality, they would need to make the northern hemisphere bigger and the southern hemisphere smaller, basically. So
Why?
No, no.
No.
Why?
Well, the first thing,
What?
my first question is, what do you think reality is?
No. It's reality.
Reality. So
Got to be emphasis on the T.
this is reality is to try and make it fit an AE map is the only thing I can see that's trying to do.
Yeah, what doesn't work is when you know project a globe on a flat map. It doesn't work because depending on which direction you're doing it or what way you're doing it, is either the northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere or whatever is going to look stretched
Yeah.
or shrunk. Hence the reason why sometimes we see those maps in Iceland is the size of North America nearly.
Yeah.
You know, it just doesn't work.
No. Well, that's what
Do it.
who was I talking to last night? Oh, Pete on Jim Pandas. And,
Pussy Pete.
and he,
Oh,
he
Pete Shea.
yeah. And he
Yeah.
put up a thing. We were discussing size, and he put up this thing that had this flat Earth disc and the countries, the actual size on it. He says, "Look, that shows the relative size of countries." I said, "Yes, but when I know that, what does that prove?" He says, "Is that how you think the shape of the Earth is?" No, it's just showing that the
Yes,
countries have relative
I
size.
saw him put that up,
And it was like,
and that's a mosaic on the floor somewhere in where the World Trade Center was or something.
yes, that's right. Yeah.
So, and it was like, yeah, and
What have you proved? What's the point? Isn't that our point? Is that we know the size of the countries and we know how they fit into the Earth, and it doesn't fit the
yeah,
AE map.
and no supposed flat Earth map ever gets it right. Because when you get to the southern hemisphere, they all start distorting like buggery.
Yeah, like
Anyway.
like your Australia is about 1,000 miles longer than it should be. Sometimes about 1,000 miles.
Try 6,000 miles longer.
That was 6,000 miles longer.
Really?
7.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, it's
okay.
2.7
Yeah.
times longer than it is in reality, and it's about 4,000. Oh, sorry, miles. So you could be right in miles. I'm thinking kilometers.
That's the.
It's
that's
about
the
4,000 kilometers. So yes, and it's about 9,000 kilometers if you use the AE map, which is obviously not.
Oh, the A. Right, okay, not Gleason's.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Gleason's does something similar, doesn't it? It's
Yeah, well,
still
Gleason's an AE map. It's
top-down
basically the
projection,
same
isn't
thing.
it? Yeah.
When I say AE map, it just saves because some people say it's flat earthers say, "Oh, I don't believe in Gleason's. I believe in the AE map." Well, actually, the Gleason's is an AE map, but anyway, all close enough too. Okay.
But either way, it don't work.
Tiny Captain. That's why we always have to take a scale of the standing side of the nautical chart at the almost the latitude you are. Then the scale is the closest to reality. Okay. Let's see where he gets to.
So they'd match. But before we get into my new prediction, let's look at some other predictions that would be necessary if that were the case. So number one, underwater sea cables. They say that 99% of the information between the continents are through underwater sea cables.
Yeah. Now,
And
he's
It's almost like they almost think like these cables are some sort of, it's being hidden from everywhere. No, everybody knows they exist. Yeah, there is a lot of it is used that way, but satellites do as well.
it's also flat Earth engineering in that they say, well, why don't you have a sea cable going from Perth to Africa? Why haven't you laid that cable? Because it costs a lot of money to lay cable and there's hardly anyone who use it. So, funny enough, we've got a very small population in those countries. There's not a lot of money in it. So, you tend to piggyback off other cables. So that's why...
I think this question came up before. I've seen somewhere as well. Why isn't there cable going across the Indian Ocean to Australia? And I remember something about the seabed or something. I don't really know. Maybe it's too deep.
Well, It's because it's
topographers
easier.
Probably too difficult. Or
You
something,
might
I don't
notice
know.
on this map, right? Most of the sea this is a bit. There's more sea cables than this, but anyway, okay. You might notice there's two sea cables leaving Australia. Well, not two locations they leave. So there's one leaving from Perth, goes straight up to Indonesia, and then several leaving from Sydney. One going up to Papua New Guinea, then over to New Zealand, and then over to Hawaii. Right. So most of the traffic, surprisingly, where most of the people live on the eastern side of Australia, is over that way, and then they're trying to get up to Hawaii. I'm pretty sure that's Hawaii, and then over to America, right? That's because they're sort of piggybacking on all the South Pacific countries, sort of using that same sort of route. I think you probably find they're much closer than that's shown. And the one that goes from Perth up to Indonesia is because there's already a connection up there. Why would they run a big long cable all the way over to?
Don't need to. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, who are we going to talk to? You know.
Yeah.
You're gonna put it up to here where most of the traffic's going to be.
Yeah.
You know?
So, yeah.
Anyway, they have no. It has to go where they say it is, rather than economic reasons why it goes where they are.
Even the information between like South America and Australia, they go up and over and back down, which is a massive waste of money if the Earth were a globe. But on a flat Earth, they'd be too far apart. And what do you know? No underwater sea cables between continents. Number 2, cruises. Okay, we would predict that we would look for cruises in between the southern continents, but it'd just be too far and it'd be too obvious. And you look and
okay.
What?
I'm going to pay. I'm going to pay a lot of money to go on a cruise and look at ocean for 3 weeks.
Yeah. How boring would that be?
I mean, at the big wide oceans, like the South Atlantic, for example, is the weather is very unpredictable. It's difficult, and it can get very, very dangerous. The chances of you being rescued out in the middle of the South Atlantic or the middle of the Pacific Ocean or out in the middle of the Indian Ocean, rescue is unlikely to be for days, let alone hours. So it's flipping dangerous for shipping. No, exactly. But why would you want to go, spend week after week of just ocean and nothing but ocean on a cruise? Right.
Sorry, just pointing out. Tony Captain's pointing out that the oceans in UK, Europe, after we reach the other oceans are deeper too, which is obviously something to consider. So
yeah,
yeah, I just sort of point that out. Yes, and that's the thing. As I said, cruises aren't like buses. It's not this is a regular route, so we're going to take a cruise from one spot to another. They're holiday cruises. You're going places people want to see stuff. Go to ports. So yes, you're not going to see many straight across from South Africa to Perth and Sydney over to Santiago.
And also, so if you see where you got South America and South Africa, I mean the distance between those two, it's not accurate again because this is a projection.
This
of the map.
isn't accurate.
It's much.
No.
It's. I'm looking at a globe right now, and the distance is vast compared to transatlantic. When you've got those transatlantic routes at the top there, New York City to Europe and things like that. So, yeah, who wants to see like days after days or even weeks of just sea?
Yes, weeks of just ocean, up and down, up and down.
The whole point of cruises is that you go to different places and you see them. Yeah.
Now, Tony Captain would probably know better than us about this too. I'm sure the trade routes are different, but these are the cruise routes, which I'm sure the trade routes might be.
Yeah, but don't forget. I mean, don't forget. I mean, the cargo ships and stuff like that. They're built to survive nasty weather, but cruise ships not so much.
No.
They're not designed for very nasty weather. To a certain degree, they are. Yeah, but I mean,
Tony Captain saying how the Pacific was no fun last month. I'm sure not. So yes, let's see.
Voila! There are no cruises between the southern continents. There are plenty between the northern continents,
Oh
It's
yeah,
just
we're
too far in the southern
What is it?
hemisphere.
Just where everybody
Okay,
is.
number 3.
88% of
Yeah.
the
This is one of my
population.
personal predictions. I knew that if I looked up the 24-hour
Hang on, sorry.
record times between the northern races and the southern races, that there'd be a drastic difference, and it was even worse than I thought. It was like 711 miles in the north and 530 something miles in the south, and that's
So?
because in the north,
I think he's trying to argue that the 24-hour races are longer, but it's sort of like, wouldn't it make no difference at all?
Huh?
Even if it was a flat Earth, wouldn't a 24-hour race take as long as it takes and go as far as it can? It's got nothing to do with.
Yeah. Does it,
You gonna
does
say
he
something,
think
Blue?
somehow that the southern hemisphere kind of like it stretches somehow, and that's 24 hours? I don't know. Oh,
Well,
sorry, was Blue about to speak? Big one.
I don't know.
The races that they do in the southern hemisphere, they don't start there, do they?
No. And I don't
They
think
tend
there's
to
a
start up here, and then you have to get down there, go round, and then come back up again. Yeah,
Yeah.
just like Cook did with his voyages, and they go, "Oh, look, he spent all of this time going round and round." No, he had to get down there first.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is it's a 24-hour race. You're going to go as far as you can. It's got nothing to do where you are, and you could go 24 hours and just constantly go around in a circle, couldn't you? You know.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess
don't
so.
know.
But yeah, if it's only 24 hours, you ain't. Well, like you said, all 24 hours covered 618
shorter
nautical miles.
Now,
I mean, that's nothing.
if there were set things saying, "Oh, this is a race around the world," and you had a race world up in the northern hemisphere and a race around the world in the southern hemisphere, that'd be different. But obviously, it's a bit easier to go around the world in the southern hemisphere than it is in the northern hemisphere anyway. It's a bit less land. Although, I'm sure the oceans aren't great down that way. Let's see what it
distance,
says.
and that's what we would expect or predict. That boat that I'm showing on the screen broke the record in the south. Look how fast he's going, and he only got 536 miles, I believe, in over a 24-hour period. So, you mean to tell me that
Yeah.
a race that's been going on for over 30 years with like all these boats in like 80 to 100 and something days per race, and there wasn't one day in the south to match the conditions to get a similar speed of those in the north?
Really?
I call
Oh,
bullshit
but
on
it's
that.
24 hours, you
But I pretty much
berg. What the? Oh, jeez. Is he thick or what? My
But you
God.
know, well, he's leaky. Of course, he's thick.
It's over 24 hours. Yes, the conditions can be different. Yes, depending on how the speed you go with these boats. It's like depends on the wind and all the rest of it. All kinds of different things. The direction of the wind. All kinds of different things. Considered a factor how far you're going to get within 24 hours. You
Yeah, it's
bird.
got nothing to do with the shape of the Earth.
Yeah, it's got nothing to do with the shape of the Earth whatsoever. Bugger all to do with it. You silly twat.
It's probably got a lot more to do with the oceans. So, yeah.
much knew I would find this. In prediction 4, we would expect mariners to come out and blow the whistle.
Have you come out?
Yeah,
all the mariners
why haven't they then? Because it's a
On these
globe.
times and these distances, and sure enough, they have. And this is the
Well,
same guy, which
not
leads into
they.
5.
One guy.
We would expect the
a couple of them, but-
sunrises and sunsets to differ.
Yeah, there was that mariner that was so convinced he sailed down and lost a few crew and a couple of boats down in the southern oceans. Yeah. They had to chase him. He realised he'd done wrong and he tried to hide in Argentina and they found him.
Sun recedes a lot faster from the observer in the south. What?
Apparently.
What? Who? What?
Well, this was fun. You'll hear him saying in a sec that the sun sets faster in the south. Now, I'm not quite sure what setting faster means. But anyway.
From the north to the south. And this guy has over 100,000 nautical miles charted under his belt. And he says is saying
So I was just trying to catch what on
and
the
just
screen.
that.
We have long summer evenings in the north, while in the south, obscurity becomes Is this at the same time of year, funny enough?
And we hear that a lot, that the sun sets faster and rises faster in the south than the north. And one of my
Bullshit.
personal favorites,
Bullshit.
Yeah, I
Actually,
know.
it takes longer to set in the south than it does at the equator.
Yes. It's just, unfulfilled, not very well researched information. Yeah.
number 6, how if we looked into it, I predict we would find them claiming that it's bigger in the south, because for people asking questions, they would have to claim, yeah, it's a little bigger in the south.
I've heard this one. This is ridiculous. Get ready for this one.
As a result of this major space effort, man has increased his knowledge of the universe. The Van Allen radiation belt was discovered. The Earth was found to be pear-shaped.
It's slightly wider below the equator than above the equator.
A little chubbier.
A little chubbier.
Yeah.
Chubby's a good way. It's like pear-shaped.
For one thing, the satellite does not revolve in a smooth ellipse around Earth. It would if Earth were a perfect sphere with uniform mass distribution.
Hold on.
But instead, Earth...
How much wider in the southern hemisphere is it? It's only a few kilometers, isn't it?
I think
it's not much.
No, I think it's a few more, but relatively speaking, it's a very small percentage.
I think percentage-wise, somebody said it was something like 0.00001 something percentage difference between the southern hemisphere and the northern hemisphere. I don't know.
Yeah, in the
maybe
grand scheme of things, it's bugger all.
Yeah, it's absolutely nothing.
It's nothing like
what's
shown on the screen. It's not like that at all. No.
No, you can't. I mean, we've had this argument before with different people. It's just that you're not going to see. It's the same with the oblate shape of it. You're not going to see that it's a blade from space. You can't detect it with your eyes. It's because the differences are so subtle, right? Does somebody in chat or anybody here say what the difference is between the southern and northern hemisphere?
Multi-tom, can you tell me what it is? What? That's a bit silly question, I know. But anyway.
Has various bulges and...
Number 7, the time zones. We would predict that there would be more time zones in the south.
I sometimes think they have any concept of how time zone to decide it. It's the local governments that decide, let's make a time zone in this area.
You should make a ridiculous state. We would predict that there should be more time zones in the south. Why?
Oh, by the way, the figure's 43 kilometres.
Oh, is it?
Oh, there you go. Out of what's the total radius of the Earth?
3 kilometres. Oh, no.
Yes, the equatorial diameter is 12,756 kilometres, and the polar diameter is 12,713.6. That's a difference of 43 kilometres.
What's this? Oh, it's the 43 is in radius, in diameter, or radius.
Diameter.
Not a lot. Okay.
There you go. So 43 kilometres out of 3,000 odd.
Yeah, not big.
It's come on. Of course, you're not going to see that, you dozy twat.
But I sometimes wonder, what do they think time zones are? Because I'm looking at this time zone map over here, they sort of think somehow that it's the countries decide what time zones they want to have. I mean, we have two, even though we're on the same latitude, we have 2 time zones on the eastern side because Queenslanders don't want to have daylight saving. So
we actually have some half-hour time zones in Australia too.
Yeah. I was just going to say that. Yeah, you do, don't you?
Yeah.
Which is a bit weird, but anyway, whatever. We don't have that problem because we're so tiny. And time is wherever it is.
No, because we set it.
Yeah, we invented time.
You invented time.
Yeah.
And gaps in the north.
The globe makes no sense. You have 19 time zones on the top of the globe, followed by 24 time zones between 40th parallel and the equator, and then below the equator you have 32 time zones.
And in the north, in this little region,
exactly.
There's 4.
And there's 4 in that region, so therefore,
time zones. It's right where the.
Does he think somehow that nature decided the time zone? Somehow it was kind of like a natural thing that occurred. You know,
I'm not sure.
I do wonder that whether nature decided the time zone somehow, and we just followed along, maybe.
Yeah, I don't
Some
know.
mysterious force.
Well, I'm just looking at this map. You can see the edge of the west coast. Obviously, Alaska's got its own time zone, but then down through Canada and the west coast, even though they're a bit different, look like they're on the same time zone. And then, funny how when you look at that map, that what you'd say, oh, why does that white area? Why is that all the time zone? Well, that's because this is a Mercator map and it's a globe. If you put it in a globe, that'll be on the same line. Don't suppose he's ever thought of that, is he? Yes, that's right, Tiny Captain.
International Dateline is where the days skip over. It's a perfect spot to stretch it out, which is what's necessary. And I don't think you'll find any flights in that red region right there.
Yeah, no one flies to. What's the name of those islands?
What, the Aleutians?
Aleutians. I was trying to think. Yeah, so no one goes to the Aleutians, do they, Blue? You know.
No, I've flown over them a number of times.
You can't. He just told you wouldn't do it. So.
Well, you better tell that to American Airlines.
Yeah.
They didn't seem to pay any attention to it.
Nah. I'm sure people fly over it all the time.
Well, China.
Go on.
China must really confuse this dude because China only has one time zone for the whole country.
For the whole country.
Yeah.
And why does he say that Australia and the US are the same width when they're not?
Nah.
Oh, God knows. Yeah.
They're not that
He says
far
they're the
apart.
same width than they are.
They're similar.
And
They're
Australia
similar,
doesn't have two time zones.
No. They actually aren't that far apart. I don't think. Measure it.
They're similar. I mean, they're not exact, but they're similar. Width, that is.
Yeah, width of it.
Depending which part you measure, but yeah. You have a look at it. But yeah. But I suspect there's more
or
time.
less. That's more or less 3,000 statute miles.
Yeah. I think the America might be slightly lot
Or-
larger, is it? Yeah. Anyway.
If you're Brian's logic, statuette miles.
Statuette miles, okay.
Yes.
Are those ones that stand up tall and, look proud, made of bronze or something?
Yeah, those are the ones.
Statuettes. That was something I heard. Someone was trying to say they needed to make a statue to the person who killed Hitler to put up in Berlin. And this whole about what it was, and then people sort of saying
that was Hitler.
Hitler shot himself.
Yes. Yeah, let's put up a statue to Hitler because he killed himself. What?
Yes. Anyway, sorry. That's a bit of an aside.
Those sneaky neo-Nazis at it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to slip one by us.
Russia and China are twice as big. Well, twice as big as each other, or don't know what that is, Monty Tom. Might need to explain that one.
And number 8, the Antarctic Treaty. We would predict that travel.
This one's coming. You're not predicting anything here. You're just bringing up the Antarctic Treaty.
Yeah.
There's no
clearly
prediction.
show that he knows nothing about it or what's in it. And he's
So
going
my
to make
prediction
claims that are not there.
There's no prediction about what's in the Antarctic Treaty because you can just go and read it.
Yeah, it's online. Anybody can see it.
Travel would be restricted in areas where it would be obvious. So there's no free and independent exploration below the 60th south parallel.
Wrong.
Wrong. That's a lie. That's very much a lie.
Wrong. Yeah. What's did it say? The no militarization below the 60th parallel.
Yeah.
No.
Correct.
There's not supposed to be any kind of military
No military
operations
bases.
or bases or anything like that below the 60th parallel.
And although all the countries, the territories have their own rules, but basically the rule is you can't go if you're not prepared. If you're prepared,
so they do it so that they're not one single nation owns any part of.
Claims the whole lot, but
claims the whole lot,
making sure you're prepared is because if you're not prepared, who's going to pay to come and get you? And that's the big issue. Who's going to put their lives?
I mean,
on
you know, I've been on social media particularly asking where in the Atlantic Treaty does it say? Tell me the article number that you cannot go below the 60th parallel, and almost nobody answers the question. But you get the odd one that says, "What about this paragraph?" and it talks about that 60th parallel. But I says, "Well, it doesn't say you can't go there, because it read what it says." You know, you never get an answer because I mean, this is the thing. You know, you can see it online. You can see what the Antarctic Treaty says that they're all signed up to. I just don't understand why they keep pursuing this thing that it's closed. It ain't. It doesn't say that anywhere.
No. What frustrates me is it's not a very big document.
No.
You can read it in 10 minutes.
I mean, you know, there's probably more to it than the other. You know, I mean, if you look at the whole thing that they physically signed, you know, about the rules and all the rest of it when you have to travel there, or when you want to.
No,
well,
they vary from country to country, so they're not in your treaty.
Oh, that's true. It does, doesn't it? Yeah, that's true. Sorry, yeah.
So your rules for your particular territory might be different, but the treaty doesn't go into that at all. That's up to each country.
Well,
if a country decided that it wasn't going to go and save people, and it was going to let people just wander in, they could technically do that, but generally they don't.
I mean, if you look back in history, there's lots of treaties that have been 1 or 2 pages. I mean, look at the when Chamberlain went over to see Adolf Hitler, made a treaty and made a promise that he wouldn't expand any further, and that was on a single sheet of A4. Yeah, peace in our time and waving that bit of paper. That was a single piece of paper with a signature on it. You know, treaties don't necessarily have to be hundreds or thousands of pages long. You know,
no, that's right.
Famous people on the toilet, number 47. I hold in my hand a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Number 9.
Wiped his ass on it.
Another prediction we would make. We would predict that if we looked at some of the old captain's logs, we would find that the circumnavigation far
captain's log. Yeah.
south would be some crazy long distances.
So far, we've been told 37,560. We've been told 43,400. But if we just look at Pigafetta's own writing, where he says that land leagues are of 3 miles and sea leagues are of 4 miles. So that gives us 1460 times 4 is 50.
Except that he says it's 6,300 leagues. But anyway, move on.
57,840 miles. Yet we've seen other articles trying.
No, just reading what it says here. He says land leagues are 3 miles 4. But in front of that, he's saying he says what the circumference is. But anyway.
Tell us 37, 47. It's actually 57,000 miles.
Jaron is a master of spin. He can spin anything to look the way of the narrative flat Earth. He's pretty good at spinning it. And if you listen carefully, you know, he's lying and he knows he's lying.
Yeah. Well, you can tell he's going to bring up Cook, right? And his second journey.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Now, when you look at the logbooks of Captain Cook, his logbook for his second journey was also 60,000 plus miles. You could look at.
Yes, but was it 60 circumference, or was that his total trip? Because he went around Antarctica, then he spent 2 years wandering around the Pacific back and forth, and that's part of this total that you're considering.
And like I said,
the British
he had to get down there first, then he had to get back again.
Yeah, and that's also part of that
That's
total.
all part of it.
So it's not what he measured the circumference to be. That's just
no.
Yeah, no, not even close.
Well,
Wonder expedition.
It's places. He was all over the bloody place, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, I've got a video on that. I think I did well back. And if you look at the map, they went down, they went around. They were trying to get to the landform of Antarctica because they never actually made it, but they did go all the way around it. And he took 2-3 years traveling, trying to back and forth, and that's all part of this 63 that they're trying to add to this value. It's like, yeah, if you go around your car park 2,000 times doesn't mean you've travelled, from your point further. So, yeah. Anyway.
In the 1800s, that was also over 60,000 miles. So we should start being able to recognize a pattern here that obviously when we
The pattern is you're lying about the logbooks.
navigate south of the equator, we are logging way too many miles.
So this brings me to my newest prediction, number 10. I predicted.
He hasn't made a prediction yet.
Yes,
well,
yes, they're sort of like, I've decided this, so therefore it's a prediction, rather than I'm going to write out.
Yeah,
this is what I think's going to happen.
It's like his prediction of what's in the Atlantic Treaty. What? Antarctic Treaty. Sorry, beg your pardon.
You keep on using that word. I don't think it means what you think it.
What do you think it means? Antarctic. I must say that. Say that. Atlantic.
And this one, I know what he's about to say, and you got to think of this as a road designer. How this next bit's going to annoy me.
The further north we went, the windier and curvier the roads would be, because they need to make the distances seem farther. So anything they can do, and then in the southern hemisphere, the further south, the straighter the roads would be, in more straight.
This road's too short. Make it longer, quick.
What did he just say? Did he just say what I think he said?
Yeah.
Yes, they've purposefully made the roads sort of twist and turn and bend to make them longer.
To make as if for people that it's a globe. What? That's probably the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Is it because maybe you can't just have a road going from A to B in a straight line because you're going over people's land and things like that, perhaps? Oh, I don't know, maybe.
There's several things. Well, first of all, roads aren't cheap. So what you're saying is these people are going to spend millions and millions of dollars more on a road just to make it longer to try and conform to a flat Earth, for a start. So in the north, yes, you're going to probably have more roads because there's more populace. You're going to have more land, more things you've got to divert around. But yes, I'll play it out and then I'll have a bit of a rant.
And it was way crazier than I thought. But this all stemmed from I'm at 30 north latitude roughly, and I-10
this is
east pretty much spans the country,
too, by the way.
and I couldn't find a stretch of straight road, no more than 2 or 3 miles. It's just been windy, and
so
it dawned on me that I need to check this out, and it was just crazier than I thought. And you could do this yourself. So what I did
is you should come over to the UK where we still follow some of the Roman roads.
North.
Yeah, exactly.
To like Pittsburgh area.
They're really straight.
Going across toward the Great Lakes. And it's...
Yeah, so...
Yeah, there's not many of them, though, are there, really? There's not many Roman roads left.
Well, left.
I've got one just across the way from me. It's called the A5.
Yeah, I didn't say there wasn't one. I just said that there's not many of them left.
You ever watch that old series Chelmsford 1, 2, 3?
Yes.
Farmer's House, yes.
Absolutely.
It's a whole episode about Roman roads and that.
Yeah. Where'd you get that from? Oh, the Greek porno room. Yeah. A fucking brilliant series they were.
Yeah.
Sure enough, the first thing I checked, it got even windier. So I'm checking the highways here, and not any of the smaller roads. Just the main highways and interstates. And here's the logic. So they need to enlarge the northern hemisphere, but not so much, because even on an AE map it gets smaller as you get closer to the center. But mainly in the southern hemisphere. But they still have.
I keep looking at this and saying, I look at this. The reason why they haven't gone straight here is you can see this river running through the middle of it, and they've gone across the river, followed the riverbank, and then jumped over the topology's got a lot to do.
And I'll be funny, but there's things like towns,
have some room.
Well, for a start,
land.
Actually getting to where the towns
straight through everything. Yeah, you
where
can't
the
go
towns
straight
actually
through
are.
everything. You can't go straight through everything, can you?
No.
It's like you're going to have to take diversions sometimes.
I can look
he's claiming that they do it on purpose to somehow make it look like a globe.
Whereas I can look at this and say, well, I can tell that used to be the road on the eastern side of that town, and then they've put in a bypass on the western side of that town. And the reason why they,
Yeah.
you know, it's what they've done.
Hey, you're looking at farm roads that date back 200 years.
Yeah.
That just eventually got paved versus an interstate highway system that we started building in the 1950s.
Yeah. And you've got to go around everything that's
And the part you're looking at was probably built in the 60s or 70s.
Add on.
I'm pretty sure as
even
well
though-
the original autobahns, the original motorways that were built by Adolf Hitler in Germany, they weren't all straight either.
No.
Well, that's where Eisenhower got the idea from.
Exactly.
But you notice that he's ignored certain parts of America. If you go to North Dakota, there's Highway 46. It runs
That's
for
right.
124 miles straight.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's because when it was built, there was like expanses of hundreds of miles of nothing.
Well, we
Exactly.
tend to stretch roads between two places, right? And usually that's like places where people live.
Yeah.
Right.
So you find these major population centers and you connect them with interstate highways. And that's what's happened. I don't see anything wrong with that. No, there's nothing to stop you from saying, okay, tell you what we'll do. Let's build an interstate highway from Jacksonville, Florida to Los Angeles with one on-ramp and one off-ramp at the other end of it. How useful would that be?
Useful as a chocolate teapot.
Yeah.
And someone who does a lot of town planning, old days they used to put this grid system on and it doesn't work very well, so they don't do it anymore. Drawing straight lines.
Excuse me, Mr. Engineer. Can we go around this mountain? No. We've got to make the road straight. It has to go up
Straight
and
through.
over the mountain.
Either go under it, over it, or straight through it.
Yeah. We want that road straight, man.
That's what I'm just. I'm looking at some of this
on a globe just to make it match the south. So
Match
in the
the
southern
south.
hemisphere,
That's the other thing. Any concept of this idea that they've added up all the roads to make sure that the length of all the roads up in the north match all the roads that are down in the south. So I can tell you, I've never in any of my road design I thought, I better check whether this is going to add to the total down the south. Maybe I need to make it shorter or whatever so we can balance them out.
they can't afford winds and bends in their highways and interstates because people would catch on. They'd be like, wait, this is way further. But so next I go to South America, and I'm seeing all these windy lines, but then I realize, wait, them are just borders. All these windy lines. When you look in, the roads are straight. So I follow this road.
This one road.
Sure enough, I mean, it ain't completely straight.
In all of
but I
South
can pretty
America,
much, without reorienting my screen hardly at
I've
all,
looked at one road.
I can just scroll, just scroll.
It's just bendy as...
Even the bends and winds are pretty much straight lines, and I can just go clear across.
That's a good statement. That's a good statement.
Hang on a minute. The bendy, windy roads are even straight.
Even the bends.
Even the bends are straight. Yeah.
What?
I know what he's trying to say, but that was just silly.
Brian,
Across the
you're as
continent.
thick as a rock, honestly. Jesus Christ.
And all the roads that veer off left and right are all straight, and just clear across from one side of the continent to another by Argentina
No.
until I get to the mountains. And it's just straight lines. And I just kept checking. I
No,
checked
they're
Africa.
not.
Same thing. I've seen a lot of windy lines, but you zoom in on them, and they're just borders. It seemed like they did that shit on purpose. Throw me off. I look on these
Well, yeah,
on the
'cause
windy
it's
lines.
agreed
and the
upon
borders.
national boundary.
I go in, I
Boundary.
find the roads,
Yeah.
and sure enough, they just span the whole continent, South Africa, with minimal bends,
you're in South
straight
America at the
lines,
moment,
just
anyway.
clear across. Look at this. There's hardly any exceptions. I mean,
Because it's flat.
everyone you
as.
check, it's crazy. It's ridiculous. I recommend everybody.
It's called flat, so they don't have to go around anything. And there's hardly any
'Cause quite
population.
because quite often with these borders in Africa, okay, you're going through vast expanses of nothing, desert, bush.
Yeah.
There's literally nothing for hundreds and hundreds of miles. So that's why you get some bits which are straight. And it's an international agreement between countries to where they're going to put the borders. Because then you put them somewhere.
I just find it phenomenal that they think there's some conspiracy that all the roads, all the road designers getting together and no, we can't build this road here because, it's going to stuff
ultimately,
up
what does this prove? I mean, I don't understand what he's trying to prove here. He's going nowhere with it. What does this prove? It doesn't prove anything.
You try this. It's insane. So you see, I'm in South Africa and just pretty much go clear across. And so now I check North Africa.
Go check Greenland. It's pretty north.
Yeah, quite a lot of nothing in North Africa as well. A lot of nothing, desert.
And let's go
nothing.
Let's go through the parts of Russia, which is dead straight. Isn't it? It's one of the one of the longest railway lines is in Russia. Not as long as the Australian one, but it's pretty long.
Yeah, again, if you look at the steps,
I would expect
steps in Russia. Again, it's just vast expanses of countryside.
And I
flat
find a major highway, and what do you know? It's windy. All of them roads in the south they're straight, and the north windy. And here it goes to the mountains, so I won't really say too much about that. But
no,
why not?
Why not?
Why ever not?
Yeah.
Does that sort of
or
go
just
again?
ignore that bit. We just ignore that it's the mountains, or we'll just ignore that.
We'll gloss over
it leaves the mountains, and it's even windier in the looks like the farming areas, the flat areas. It's even windier.
Where are you?
So North Africa, windy. South Africa, straight lines everywhere. It's crazy.
No, they're not
It's
straight.
just everywhere you look. I looked in Finland.
Because North Africa, not many mountains.
I mean, I'm just pretty much
other parts where there is
fast
mountains,
scrolling through this stuff, but you can double
more
check
dense
it yourself.
populations,
And
windy.
so I look at these straight lines.
Not difficult.
And I'm trying to find straight lines like
When
in
he
the north,
says everywhere
like
you
Canada.
look, he means
And I realize
everywhere I cherry pick.
Yes, because you're saying I can't find straight lines, but there was this run road there that was very long and straight. He panned away from that really quick.
Just all borders. I zoom in on them, and they're not even roads. They're borders.
Oh no! Funny enough, they're borders.
Oh no! Borders aren't roads. Shit.
It's almost like they did that to trick me.
Oh yeah, they're deliberately going out to trick you.
Oh my God.
I almost glanced past it because I automatically seen windy roads in this.
You know what he could have done? He could have turned off the borders and just left just the roads on. But anyway,
in the south, and straight looking roads in the north. But you zoom in, they're not even roads. So you zoom in on the north, and them straight lines are just borders and shit.
So why didn't you just turn on the roads and turn off the borders?
And so this was Northern Europe, and more of the same. Just the further north you go, the windier the roads.
That's not a road.
But the main thing that
where's this windy road?
Shows more borders. Yeah.
And look at this. It looks like that the border's got a road on it. It's just pretty straight, except for a little bit through the hills and then straight again. But anyway, let's see if he mentions that.
He was in the south.
No.
So then I go to.
Let's pan away from that
and
one.
they have them straight lines that come to find out are borders. Then I went to.
Did you see that? The straight line. Oh no, we're not going to look at that. We're going to pan over to the border.
Back to South America. I'm like, I want to check the northern parts of South America. And what do you think I found? Windy roads in the northern part of South America.
Around all the waterways and hills and through the rainforest.
Almost as if the terrain is influencing
play it
where you
out.
build
So
roads.
that's why
It does seem
starting
that
to see.
way,
Look
doesn't it?
at this. Just
It does.
All these straight.
not
bits
making
of
any of
road.
this shit up. It's very, very consistent. And I didn't find any exceptions. Like I tried to find a straight road in Canada. I thought I found one. And
You're trying to tell me that the whole of Canada you couldn't find a straight road?
it turned out to be like a dirt road. And then it tied into a highway. And you see it's all curvy and shit. And I thought I found a straight stretch. It turned out to be like a dirt road. but it tied into a highway, and I was like, "Uh-oh, this is straight."
Stretching
Uh-oh,
this
my
out,
theory,
isn't he?
you know,
Yeah, he is.
I'm not
Spending
sure.
a lot of
but,
time on this.
And then what do you think?
I think he thinks he's discovered something new.
Think happened? Wah wah wah. Bitch starts whining and curving and splitting. So it's what you would expect if they're trying to make the North match the Southern Hemisphere. I mean, there's 10 predictions, so pretty much everything that would lead you to believe the Southern Hemisphere is larger. If you look into it, that's exactly.
How much larger? That's the big thing. What are you saying? Is it 1% larger? Is it?
I don't expect numbers.
2.7 times larger, which is what you want if you're trying to fit your map. Yeah. Sorry, farmers.
Just don't expect numbers and figures from him, because flat earthers don't do that.
No, we won't actually measure it. Not going to go into OpenStreetMap and actually download and bring it into a GIS and actually get the lengths of the roads from one into the various countries. And no, that would be let's not actually do some proper research.
Exactly what you find. It's our reality. And I want to check a little more into Australia. I didn't want to make too long of a video, but I did take a quick look into it, and it was pretty much more of the same, but maybe I'll do a future video. But I encourage everybody to go check this out yourself. Go far south and look at the
I could find you some curvy roads in Australia if you want some.
roads. You won't find any windy roads, you know, except for maybe in the mountains. But
funny that.
Hope you enjoyed.
There you go. So I thought that one was interesting.
Oh yes, Brian, I really enjoyed that video of you being a complete twat.
Oh dear. So you want to play
He
some
doesn't
bingo?
get any, does he?
Yeah. Sorry, go on. You going to say? Did I lose you? You still there, farmers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Nah, I suppose it is what you expected, but I just thought you might find that one fun.
Yeah.
Okay, for those that want to play, there's the bingo link. I posted into internally too. For those that want to. Where's it gone? Over there. There you go. So follow that link. You should get Lindsay Bingo.
Yes.
And then you can go generate card. What have I got? So I've got Arc of Horizon, Ecliptic Plane, Celestial Cap. Free. Why have I got free? I think
I've got free as well.
Yeah,
metaphysics. I've never heard him say metaphysics.
Well, that's going to be hard to get, isn't it? Then I think free.
Cold fusion, hidden knowledge.
I think it was in the
Taurus
program.
field,
I'll have to
course.
check next time.
Arc of Horizon, Black Hole, Ancient Secrets, Vortex, and Ecliptic Plane.
Yeah. So
Black Hole is going to be a good one. He's bound to say that.
A1 is the UK longest road. Yes, it probably is. I don't think it's even close to the Nullarbor, the highway across Nullarbor. But anyway.
Well, no, it wouldn't be. But then
No.
the UK is a very small country.
You can fit the UK into New South Wales. I've designed roads longer than the UK. Well, not the whole length of the road, I've got to admit, but worked on roads longer than that. Okay.
Aren't most states bigger than the UK as a whole?
Yeah.
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 Yes. So you fit into New South Wales, and then that's which is probably the smaller of the states you fit into. So the only two would be Victoria and Tasmania that doesn't fit into. So Queensland, Northern Territory, South Australia, yeah. So what's that, 6-7 times? You could put a UK in. So, I've got to put this on Lindsay speed.
No, you put it on Lindsay speed.
For those that want to nick off and grab something to drink while we play this, you're welcome to, but you might miss out on your bingo. But anyway,
it's a risk I'm willing to take.
I've got a bottle of Contro right in front of me.
So, where'd he go? There he is. Let's go.
people. If you haven't seen my videos before, you might want to go back and check them out. I'm just going to lead straight into this video from my previous video.
You don't have
star
to.
rotations, the two hemispheres, the central northern hemisphere, and how the southern hemisphere star rotations revolve around the it's northern hemisphere. It's all proof of the flat Earth system, never shown to man before. It's all here, you can all check. So I made a big discovery, and my previous video is I showed how it worked. A couple of guys have made the model for me, so check that out. But anyway, I've just realised that this southern image in our night sky is 33.3, 33 if you want, degrees larger than the northern hemisphere. It's a 2 to 3 ratio, so that would make this 33 degrees larger than the northern hemisphere per opposite latitude. So people are trying to understand the alignment, the celestial alignments. They say if something's here, it should appear out here. But one, you have to realise that this is a lot smaller, so the fraction you'll get here, or whatever's coming off here, your nighttime image,
Did he say arc of horizon?
you will get over here expanded by 33.3 degrees. So there's a difference, there's a variation already you have to look for. But you can only see it within man's hour. But you know the problem we have is the Milky Way. That's when the Milky Way is in alignment. There's a Milky Way in both hemispheres. In this one man's hour, there's that alignment where the Milky Way is between the two hemispheres. And what you weren't taught is that the Milky Way, we don't live in the Milky Way, we're from the Milky Way. The Milky Way passes over us every night. You see it come from the west, swing over it and disappear to the south. East to the west, I should say, but it's basically coming out of the southern hemisphere, the southeast, southeast, east, north, swings right around, west, southwest, south. You're not taught all that stuff, but that's how it works. You have to check out all my other videos. But in the north, it swings out of the north, swings around like this. Appears to come around through the tropical gap west. So the Milky Way is a separate entity. It's a separate helix-shaped tube. It's called the umbilical cord, basically, of Earth, that swings around over our sky. And that alignment is bang on at this point here. So that's a separate star formation. So because of that, it hides the star alignments between the two hemispheres. So we're never going to see, unfortunately for me, showing you people, we're not going to see what's under here, the background stars and the background stars here, because it's overlaid. Go back to Abydos, the Egyptian overlays of the reliefs. It's all told in ancient Egyptian, the Medica, everything else. It's overlaid the background stars.
Does that count as ancient secrets?
Milky Way spinning around this side in the southern hemisphere. As it comes around the northern hemisphere, they both have an alignment. It's overlaying the background stars. So refer back to my model in the last video, you'll see how it works. But as soon as it turns away from this alignment, it starts warping away. In man's arc of horizon, you have to understand that the alignment is man's arc of horizon. North, he's always north to south. That's his rotation, he gets it there. That's with the camera. If you start trail with a camera, you see the circle. So you have to understand there's two systems. One's man's system going on here, but there's the overall earthly system, which is the same, but it goes all the way around the Earth. So we can stand there and just look at the stars and watch them drifting west.
No, we can't.
But if you stay within your arc of horizon, this is your perspective of the universe. You see it go around, loop. You don't. Sorry, you'll see it. You don't see it. Only clue is at the solstice when you do see it go more southwest if you're in the southern hemisphere. But in actual fact, it is going around, looping, and then coming back out around for you to see it again at exactly the same place the next night. That's how it works. But on an earthly scale, it's wandering all the way around here, if you're there, doing a loop here, then coming back out. Because it's all to do with the S-curve. The S-curve in the centre of the central vortex above the Arctic.
I think you did.
That's what it looks like side on. But if you look down into the vortex, it looks like this.
Vortex, if anyone's
That's the mother of creation, and there's the female.
Yeah, got that.
The Milky Way comes in. And what does this look like? What does the fetus start with? There's your fetus. Wow. It's the mother of creation. It's the physical world. It's the spiritual world. The godly realm. We've all come from. We come from this Milky Way. We're not in it. This is a separate entity. It's its own set of stars. Massive, obviously. And it comes into the female. All the background stars are in here. That's the vortex that turns. So you see all these stars around here. Those are the stars around here. But then along comes the old Milky Way and covers the alignment between the two hemispheres. This is why man cannot see the alignment.
T-man anatomy biology.
It comes like a thief in the night. Yeah. It's hidden from man. He will never know. This is why you have to rely on the zodiac. This is why Earth is built on the zodiac. It's the four corners.
No, it's not.
So you have to understand, follow the zodiac to know when's your full moon, your moon sign. You can track that, and you know your full moon sign ends up. Now it's getting complicated. You'll know when the full moon is,
Yes.
but it's where it is in relation to the Milky Way, because the Milky Way catches up and runs over it. So it's man's hour. It's your divine hour. If you're not consciously awake, you miss it. So there has to be this alignment where the full moon ends up down here, and you've obviously got the sun in the Milky Way. So that's the alignment. Okay, so it's all, this is God's creation. He's hidden it. I cannot prove to you there's this alignment now.
No, you can't prove to me that.
You can only equate all the other evidence to show that this does happen.
What evidence?
When you rotate this, you turn
What
all these are turning.
evidence?
But as this turns, the reflection of the stars are all moving around like this. But in man's one arc of horizon, he doesn't look east or west, and he's got his time-lapse camera at Star Trail, he just sees this rotation like this.
Yeah.
But the stars don't do full rotations. They go in and come out, because they're coming in from here into the circle, and then they move out. But there's always this permanent rotation in Star Trail photography. There's three systems, really. So you've got that. But then if man just looks at it in his arc of horizon,
As he
you'll
said,
see the
black
stars
hole.
cross over his horizon, and they do appear. You'll see in the solstice they do
I don't
with
think
the
so.
sun anyway. You see it more go southward. I'm talking from the southern hemisphere. Okay, okay. You see it come more from the south, disappear more from the south. So it does do that loop. But on a worldly scheme, it's all moving this way. Imagine this whole rotation picture just creeping around. And it goes right around in 24 hours. So anyway, I'll put this. So realise, did I go through this? 33 degrees. This is 33 degrees larger than this. Look at the number again. Divine number. And what did I say earlier on? The southern hemisphere, beyond the Tropic of Capricorn to the pole, is 66.6 degrees. That's what's in
Capricorn.
Revelations. It's nothing sinister, evil. No, you've all been misled. You don't understand
Oh.
Yeah.
Why have we paused?
the Bible.
Sorry, because you can't hear me. The tropic
yeah.
Capricorn, the two tropics, they're not at 66, are they? They're not close to that, are they? No, not.
And it's 66 degrees from Cancer to the northern pole, because the tropical gap is 2 times 23.4. So there's 46.8.
Tropical gap.
So 46.8. Add those two 66s. You've got 180 degree, 180 degree meridian from the north pole to the south pole. The north to the
But
south.
I think he's got these tropical Capricorns and
This is
Cancers.
what I put on my Facebook, but now I can't prove it.
Degrees wrong.
But I'm the first
no,
man
he's
to
got them
talk
wrong.
about
'Cause he's trying to say 33.
And
not 33.
somehow I can't prove. I'll probably prove it one day.
23.
World First 2023. My name. Announced that the southern stars are a mirrored reflection of the northern stars, but in a 33.3 degree larger expanse. So,
quick, family
the
coming.
ether, the expanse is enlarged by 33%. Whether the star itself has been expanded, I don't think so, because it's a weaker field out there anyway, because it's been stretched.
Aren't the
So I
stars
think the
just
star
lights?
might just look the same image if it's reflected from there to there, but it's the weaker stretched ether that star is projected into. 33.3 degree larger expanse than its opposite latitude, moving in the opposite direction, parabolic in brackets. So, what was I going to say then? Okay, so and it all depends on latitude. So if you're on the Earth, everything in latitude is all relative to the observer. This is what general relativity is all about. They just change all the names from ether to cosmic radiation, whatever, I don't know. Anyway, there's your latitude. So let's say this is north, but then you have the
He knows what
like a
it's all
southern
about, except he doesn't know.
field, you could say. So this, let's say you're 20 degrees north, 20 degrees south. There's a 33, if I got my maths right, I don't know. There's a 33% expansion between these two.
No.
It all depends on latitude, because we expand as we move south.
No.
Now I'm making things really complicated. You've got to refer back to the Gleason map. Everything expands out from the centre, but we expand with it. But the land itself, the terra firma, is fixed. So if I've expanded, I'm not just stepping across 1 metre now out here. I'm stepping across 3 metres, because I'm 3 times as big. So it's all relative to the observer. I'm a giant out here in this big field. I'm a big man. There's me. I'm a big man. Back in, I'm just a little man.
And
That's the troll. That's the giant. In Norse mythology, they talk about all this stuff. I've expanded in the field. People need to get their head around that. They want to understand the flat Earth. It's complicated. It's probably why you're elites. Freemasons don't talk about it. It's a bit complicated. They just come up with a ball idea, but the ball is only a coordinate system. That is only a coordinate system. It's nothing to do with reality. So there you have it, guys. There's the alignment. It's 33% bigger than this. So, and you know, how wide is this Milky Way? That could be like a third of the width of our night time, our night sky. No, don't think so. Not that big. But you can all get out there. You can see it go over you. You obviously have to be in a nice unpolluted area to get a good clear sky. But you'll see it in the south. It swings around this way and then it ends up being dead straight and it swings around out again out to the west, southwest for a southern hemisphere observer. There. I thought I could find alignment, but it just came to me today, this morning, I think, or last night. I've known before, but I never really put my head to it. But
just because of I knew before.
I never stopped and realised, you know, there's 33 degrees, 33%, 33 degrees, 33% bigger. Keep saying this degrees, percent. It's 33% bigger than that. So whatever that slither there is at night, you're seeing here. But look, it's 33% bigger. More widely dispersed in a weaker field because it's more stretched. This is the weak force, the strong force. More contracted energy in one place, more dispersed out here. So, you know, as long as you understand that it's per latitude, opposite latitude. So you can't start getting confused that this here is 33 degrees bigger than that part back there. No, it's the opposite latitude. It's all mirrored, remember? Mirrored. It's all written in ancient text. Plenty of mirrors. Okay, guys, I'll leave it at that. Thumbs up, spread the good news. Likes, share, put it everywhere.
Goodbye.
Was that it?
That was it.
Well, I only
I
got
didn't
3.
do very well. I think I got one thing.
I've got a definite 2, a possible 3.
Did anyone out do any better? Because didn't get much out of that one at all.
Right, excuse me, I do now need a cup of tea.
Yeah, same.
You can do that. While you do that,
well, I'll do that in a minute.
While you do that, I'm gonna ask Paul. Paul, you didn't post your clues, did you? I was trying to go back. I couldn't see it.
Paul, not there.
Mr. Coast.
I am here.
Oh, there
you haven't posted your clues yet, have you? For your
mystery. I did. Do you want me to post it again?
I was trying to find them.
Yeah,
maybe I'm just skimming through too quick.
There you go. I just posted it again. So
great, thanks. So,
days.
Oh, 2 days. 2 days. I think.
Oh, 2 days.
No, just
we know.
Took me 2 seconds to work it out. Two-day scientist was an Italian physicist who disappeared under mysterious circumstances. He worked on neutrino masses and has an equation and a group of fermions. I'm just trying to pronounce
fermions.
Fermions named after him. He is something M something. I'm sure multi-tom-tom will come up with the answer very quickly. The only reason I was going, is the disappearing story just sounds familiar.
Morty Tom Tom, I don't think you'd know the truth if it jumped up and slapped you around the face with a wet kipper. Quite honestly.
Yeah, Multi Tom Tom's all big, trying to convince me to go back on Nathan Oakley's show. But Multi Tom Tom was a wimp and was never on the show when I was there anyway in the first place. Were you, Tom Tom?
Yeah. This is blue. I'm spreading that truth.
Spreading that truth. Now.
But my calculation.
So we'll see if someone comes up with Paul's mystery. scientist. I would do Google Foo, but I'm just sort of running the show at the moment, so I'll come back to that.
Have you got an answer, have you, Timbo?
No, I haven't. I'm sort of in between things. I can't get to my Google Foo to check it out. That's the trouble when you're trying to make sure you've got enough things running on the screen to work. I do have.
Oh, I think I know what it is. I know who it is. My Google skills.
Okay.
Get out who it is.
Well, you can DM me if you know who it is.
I'll put it in the
I'm just
chat
about to do
to
that
him. Yeah, one or the other.
You can put it in the
Zoom
internal chat.
Yeah, Zoom chat. Now, I have a choice. I had in my looking up old videos. I wanted to do something on maps this week. I found two ones. I found one on the UK and one from the US Army. So I think I might do the US Army one. It has some more interesting things. Let's pull it up.
There you go. That's who I think it is.
You got it right, Matt. That is indeed him.
Google helps.
So who is it, Matt?
It's a guy called, now, excuse my pronunciation, Ettore Majorana. I'll pronounce that right? I'm not sure if I have. Ettore Majorana, probably pronounced Majorana, something like that.
Does that sound right, Paul?
Yeah, that's right. That's correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there we are. Oh, Blue's got it out there too.
Yep, that's correct. That's him.
Okay, well, here we go. So, I thought we'd talk about some maps. Just for something to go on with. So I've got this, and go back to the beginning. From the United States Army. 1973.
Oh.
I'll speed this up just a little bit. It's a theodolite, just if flat earthers, just so you know.
233, 12, 33.
42.
Oh, you said the dreaded number. You said 33.
Illuminati confirmed.
Yep.
Oh, isn't that good 70s music?
Peanuts want to watch too.
Oh, do they? Really?
Yeah.
I thought they just like to listen to the good old 70s music.
You have to rewind that now.
Well, you need to see the theodolite. So, got to see someone using the theodolite. Here we go.
233, 12, 33.
Good old offset feathers.
Man is a mobile creature. Ever since his earliest days, he's moved from one place to another, exploring the world around him. And always his movements have been guided by maps. In the early days, maps were very crude, but what they lacked in accuracy, they made up in artistic decoration. Always there was the effort to improve the map-making process, to update maps and make them more useful. The more accurate the map, the easier it is for a traveler to reach his destination. for a construction engineer to plan a project, for a nation to establish its boundaries, even for an Earthman to venture into space. Nowhere are maps more important than in the military. They define areas to be occupied or defended. They may illustrate natural features of those areas, hills and valleys, rivers and streams, forests and clearings. They may position man-made additions to the landscape, villages and cities, trails and roads, railways, airports, bridges, any man-made project of significance. The military man depends on his maps for knowledge of the terrain where he will be operating.
I like the guide protecting.
Small-scale maps tell him about overall regions. Medium-scale maps give him more detail about an area within a region. Large-scale maps give him even greater detail in a more confined area. They show terrain features and elevations clearly and often indicate specific buildings and structures. Maps can be topographic, showing horizontal positions and vertical elevations. Or they can be planimetric with only horizontal position of features. They can be photo maps, or plastic relief maps, or special purpose maps. Regardless of scales or type, all maps position the areas shown with relationship to an imaginary grid system that men have established on the Earth, a means for identifying the location of any point on the Earth's surface. The lines are designed as longitude and latitude. An understanding of this system is basic to map making.
Just remember that any FEs watching this. Basic. You got to understand this.
Earth rotates around an imaginary line called its axis. The axis intersects the surface of the Earth at the north and south poles. Any plane that contains the center of the Earth creates an arc on the Earth's surface, known as a great circle. A plane that includes the Earth's axis creates a great circle arc, known as a meridian. There are an infinite number of meridians, all passing through the north and south poles. The meridian that passes through the Royal Observatory at Greenwich, England, is called the prime meridian. The great circle, whose plane is perpendicular to the Earth's axis, is the equator. Degrees of longitude are measured in the plane containing the great circle of the equator. Degrees of latitude are measured in the plane containing the great circle of a meridian. Degrees of latitude and longitude are further broken down into minutes and seconds. Thus, a point on the Earth's surface can always be positioned exactly by defining its latitude and longitude. The latitude is given first, followed by the longitude. This spot is located 39 degrees 12 minutes north latitude, 77 degrees 22 minutes west longitude. When a point is thus positioned on the Earth's surface, it is said to be accurately located. The job of the mapmaker is to accurately locate a number of key points in the area he is mapping. There are many points on the Earth's surface that men have already controlled by conventional survey methods. They are marked usually with a concrete monument. These basic monumental control points, called triangulation stations, are often the starting place for controlling other points in the area. When the mapmaker transfers these points and their surrounding features to paper, a map is begun. Traditionally, control points have been established by teams of men traveling through the area to be mapped, using measurement devices to record horizontal distances and vertical elevations. Their calculations were then used by men who actually prepared the maps. Field surveys are still an important part of the mapmaker's job. Aerial photography gives the mapmaker an opportunity to see the entire area he is mapping, to observe the relationship of one feature to another. It has greatly influenced the 4 phases of mapmaking: planning, surveying, compiling, and reproduction. Planning involves the decision to map a certain area. It establishes such things as the scale desired, the amount of detail, the procedures that will be used for acquiring control, an analysis of available information on the area, including existing aerial photography and field survey reports, what new photography is needed, what procedures should be used in compiling the map manuscript, and so forth. If adequate aerial photography is not already available, a photographic mission is ordered. The altitude of the aircraft and the focal length of the camera are determined by the desired scale of the map. The plane makes a number of runs over the area following a carefully planned course. The camera shutter is timed so the resulting pictures will overlap one another. This is very important to the map-making process. After the mission, the photos, each 9.5 inches square, are arranged in the order they were taken, and they are carefully analyzed. The mapmaker is looking for identifiable basic control points and also for prominent features that can provide supplementary controls for the area. Aerial photography can provide the degree of accuracy that is needed for today's mapmaking. The exact position of the aircraft and its precise altitude are never known, so it's impossible to determine an accurate scale.
It's quite, I don't know if any of you have done any of the look through a stereoscope like that. It's quite incredible how much detail you get by looking at the 3D image over the 2D image. Pick up a heap of stuff.
Even if the camera were always perfectly level, only the portion of the picture directly below the lens would be free from displacement. And when the camera is not level, the whole picture has some displacement. So what is required is a means to acquire a positive control. A way to establish the exact latitude and longitude positions of features in the area being mapped. Where possible, this is done in the traditional way by surveying. If you're an individual who likes the great outdoors, then surveying is the phase of mapmaking you'll enjoy most. For the survey team must penetrate the area being mapped. The surveyor may find himself in dense forests, in parched desert land, in icy Arctic regions. He must be prepared to live out of doors under adverse conditions to get the job done. What he seeks first are the monumented control stations that represent known positions on the Earth's surface. Working from a known position like this, he sets out to relate supplemental control points to it. One way of doing this is a technique called triangulation, usually used in hilly country. Triangulation is based on a single principle of plane geometry. If you know the distance between 2 points, you have a fixed baseline of a triangle. Then all it takes is a measurement of 2 angles to a third point, and you can calculate the length of the other 2 sides and precisely position the third point. Using the 2 sides you've just established as 2 more fixed baselines, other angle measurements can be made to establish 2 more triangles with their third points known or controlled. The whole process just keeps on extending itself. As a check on the accuracy of their measurements, the triangulation process works toward a second known basic control point. The computation of its location should agree with its known position.
Oh, look at that.
So the surveyor must begin his work by establishing a known baseline.
I like that idea.
The second point must be easily visible and should be reasonably accessible. In some areas, towers may have to be built over the point to make it visible.
You know, when you did Bedford levels, you should have built one of these towers, farmers.
Height of the tower must be carefully calculated because the...
No, bad kid.
Sorry?
Gosh, it's bad enough putting up the bloody things Rumpus has made, let alone erecting something like that. Christ.
measurement will be made to its top, yet it is the position of the Earth's surface that must be established on the map. Distance between 2 points can be measured by modern electronic distance measuring equipment. In some cases, it may be measured on the ground by tape.
It's not tape, that's a wire. But anyway.
Angles between 3 control points are measured with an instrument called a theodolite. Observations are carefully recorded in the field surveyor's notebook for use by the map compilers back at the base. Identification of each point is especially important. To this point, the surveyor has been establishing only what is known as horizontal control, the position of control points in a flat plane. To determine the elevation of these points, he does what is called leveling. The surveyor starts from a basic control point called a benchmark, where the elevation above mean sea level is known. He sights through a leveled viewer at a measurement rod held on a second point. He can see how much the point is above or below the basic control point. He may also use an altimeter similar to those used aboard aircraft to determine their altitude. He records time and temperature to be sure the reading is absolutely accurate. Triangulation and leveling have traditionally been rugged work, often involving long hikes and difficult climbs in rough country. But today the helicopter has greatly simplified the surveyor's job. It can transport him to and from lofty hilltops in a fraction of the time it would take him to reach them on foot.
I never got to have a helicopter. I had to drag all the equipment over the hills. None of that. That would have been nice. Helicopter would have been good.
At night, it can bring him back to camp and a touch of civilization. This time can be profitably spent checking and rechecking the day's measurements. This is extremely important, for they are the basis for all the work that must follow to complete a map of the area. The surveyor may also refer to prints of the aerial photograph notebook. The surveyor can make a complete circuit of an area, establishing mapping controls as he goes, or he may choose to tie into other known control points. An important part of the survey mission is the Field Classification Survey. Its purpose is to identify and classify features that are seen on the aerial photographs, or to annotate any changes that may have occurred since the photos were flown. The surveyors record names and other pertinent data on a second set of photos. All the data the surveyor collects is put on 2 sets of photographs. One set identifies the control points, the other the field classification survey. The control photo contains the pinpricked control points on the picture side and the control data on the reverse side. The photos are then used to complete the next step of the map-making process, compiling. Compiling is essentially the task of transferring the information into a form that can be made into a map. The manuscript is the completed compilation.
I was going to say, this is when I first started and you'd be doing this. So to draw up that map that size, that might take 2-3 weeks if they've got enough data. It's used to take so long, so much of it, to do all this stuff.
Grid lines are drawn to the scale the planners had ordered. The basic control points are plotted on the grid using data obtained from the survey team. When the grid is completed, the map maker must relate the control points on the manuscript to those same points on the aerial photographs. Then he can begin to fill in the details. To do this one way, the negatives of the aerial photos are fed into a reduction printer, where small photographic transparent positives are made on 54mm by 54mm glass plates for greater stability. Diapositives, they are called. The compiler uses them in a stereo plotting device called a multiplex plotter. The plotting unit consists of a number of vertically mounted projectors.
Didn't get to use one of these. Not this size one anyway.
These projectors are used 2 at a time to project diapositives of overlapping photos onto a mylar base. One is projected in red, the other in blue. The compiler wears special glasses with one red and one blue lens. Thus, the red image is projected from one eye and the blue from the other. So he sees what the camera cannot show, a 3-dimensional or stereo view of the terrain. If all the projectors are used, he has a stereo view of the entire flight line of the camera aircraft. In other words, the multiplex plotter gives the map maker a model in space of any segment of the mapping area. He uses it to plot supplementary control points, both horizontal and vertical. This is used to add to the ground survey. It is called multiplex triangulation. In cases where known control points are concentrated at one end of the strip, he can use a technique known as cantilever extension. This extends the control down the strip, but there is no way to check the accuracy of the extended portions.
That's getting plots, so you can see how much work used to happen, and still all those same processes are done, but they're so much reduced now in terms of using data collectors, etc. like that. GPS has made a big help, but the process is just so time consuming, and so many checks have to be done to produce these plans. Still I'll refer back to the grid system in the first place.
Do you guys want a little update of what happened to Starship and what's going on and stuff like that?
We do.
I sent you a little image.
You did. Where did you send me an image?
Yeah.
Where did you send me an image?
Via DM in Discord.
DM. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'll go through there.
So yeah, SpaceX have been busy little bees, to say the least.
Yes.
Very busy. People like La Padre and NASA Spaceflight, they've been doing these time lapse of the cameras they've got at Boca Chica, and yeah, it's like literally like ants around a mole, like a I was going to say a molehill, an anthill, like hundreds of people around, dotted around doing stuff during the course of some days. Vehicles of all kinds. Honestly, it's so in this image, I think you've got it partly cropped out. If you scroll down a little bit, Timbo, there you go. So now they've cleared away pretty much all the damage. They've cleared away all the damaged rebar underneath that, and all the rubble was all gone. So now you can see it's just kind of like a fairly neat hole now.
Yeah, filled it back in. Yeah, too. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you look at the top left, see that pile of brown stuff.
Yeah,
that's the rebar, isn't it?
Some of the rebar. Yeah,
that's the damaged rebar that they've all removed. I mean, it looks quite small, but you think of the scale of that thing, of that launch platform. It's quite a significant pile of rebar. That's completely bent out of shape.
Oxidized. Yeah. Oh, it's amazed me how quickly it's oxidized.
It is a bit oxidized, isn't it, right enough?
Yeah.
And if you look on the bottom part of the platform as well, there's still some rebar around the edge. Can you see that where that blue line is going through it? Can you see it? Yeah, I mean that's a bit of rebar that's left that apparently they're saying they think they're straightening that out or something, or they're going to keep all. I don't know.
Well, it looks like it's still connected, so they're probably going to try and use that.
Yeah, probably are. Yeah.
They'll,
so yeah, go ahead.
Did I see somewhere that this launch pad now is going to have water cooling?
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. Cool, because Elon did a kind of like how can I put it? A little teleconference thing with Tim Dodds, Everyday Astronaut, and a couple of others. And basically, the way this thing's going to work, as he described it, is a bit like an upside down shower head, essentially. So you're going to have a steel plate that's perforated, and underneath there's going to be the jets of water under very high pressure, as far as I can tell, being pushed upwards. As far as I'm aware, so like an upside down shower head is how he described it. But whether that's been pushed towards the actual engines themselves or underneath another plate, it didn't really quite make it clear. So, but yeah, that's essentially what he's saying. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it all pans out. But there's still not going to be a flame trench. I mean, they can't. The water table's too. They're sitting on a very low water table, so they're not very far above the water table, so they can't have a flame trench unless you build a great big concrete pyramid of sorts, and it sits on top of that. Maybe, I don't know, but that would be a horrendous thing to have to build, I should suspect. So
it's always hard to get sets of scale, but you can see from the scar from that guy who's tied himself down on top of the launch tower.
Yeah, how big this thing is. Yeah, it's massive. The good thing is, see that on top of the launch tower. See that kind of like looks like a hut on top of it.
Yeah.
Well, that's the enclosure for the quick release system, the hold down and quick release system. So apparently, the quick release hold down arm was actually relatively unscathed, just a bit of cosmetic damage, but it was absolutely fine. So that cover, what that does is when it releases it, there's a cover that just like flips over it to basically protect it, and it did its job. The cover itself was pretty banged up, but the whole arm itself was fine. So obviously they're going to check all the mechanisms and stuff like that as well. But yeah,
right. I've just had a quick Google search. There's two things. The reason why they don't have the big flame trench there is the water table's too near the surface.
Yeah.
So that's why everything's above the ground. So what they're actually doing is that they're having a huge metal plate instead of the concrete, and the underside of the metal plate will be water cooled.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's
So I'm
what it's
assuming-
actually. You've got a big metal plate, and underneath that you've got water being squirted against the underside of the metal plate to keep it cool. But that's going to be the flame diverter, a huge metal plate.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
what gets me if it's just flat against the engines, you know, where parallel with the engines. I mean, but the thing is that how is the overpressure going to be managed with that? Because it's still got to go
I don't
somewhere,
know.
and surely that's going to be bounced back up, and that's what I still don't quite fully understand. Unless what he's talking about, because he said about the metal plate being perforated. So unless the water's going to be going through it and it absorbs perhaps that overpressure, I don't really quite understand.
No,
But
I don't.
He described it as an upside down shower head anyway, as from what I could tell. It's just, but he didn't quite make clear really exactly what it is. But yeah, pretty much what you just said. Yeah. So what happened with the launch itself as well was that it never actually made it to the point of separation at all. They actually lost thrust vector control. I think at T plus, what was it? T plus 80 something seconds. I'm just trying to find my notes here. Where is it? Lost comms. Yeah, the lost comms apparently with the thing at T plus 27 seconds, so fairly early on. Yeah, here we are. Booster lost vector control at T plus 85 seconds. So separation wasn't due for, I think, for another. Oh, am I hearing myself?
Don't know why.
What's going on? Yeah, so the
I hear you once.
Separation wasn't due for another 45 seconds or so, I think, something like that. So it never got to the point of separation at all. So they didn't initiate that, so it never actually happened at all. So there was nothing to indicate that there was any damage to the separation system. Had nothing to do with it. They lost comms as well early on in the flight with it. Now with the three engines that apparently didn't work, they weren't ignited to begin with. Apparently the system deemed that the three of the engines weren't healthy enough to ignite, so they had a minimum launch of 30 engines. So three damaged, so they decided to launch with the 30 engines. So the three of them weren't damaged during the launch, they just weren't ignited at all. But then at T plus, what was it, 27 seconds, there was what Elon Musk called an energy event, or an explosion somehow knocked out more of the engines, and also knocked out the comms as well, apparently. So yeah.
All right.
That's what happened according to Elon. Yeah. And also apparently the flight termination system, that's the other thing as well. The flight termination system apparently took about 40 seconds to actually work, which the FAA wouldn't be too happy about.
No,
Oh,
it did
okay.
seem to take a lot longer. My understanding was that it failed on the first stage, so they had to switch to the second stage. Yeah.
Yeah, so FAA obviously going to be looking at that very closely, because it's through the FAA that if they say terminate, they have to terminate it. You know, so but it took 40 seconds for it to actually ignite the tanks, for it to actually break up properly, and all the rest of it. So yeah, they probably weren't too impressed with that. So, I mean, going by the amount of work they've actually done so far, I mean, they are moving very rapidly every single day. There's a lot of people around that area, a lot of vehicles. Yeah. The majority of the debris, in the immediate area, it's all been cleared away now. It's gone. Seems pretty clear. Apparently, according to Elon, all the infrastructure around the pad as well is said was minor damage, although what he might call minor damage compared to us might be different. But I suppose in retrospect, when you look at the whole picture of it, there were, I mean, yeah, exactly, yeah. So I mean, yeah, exactly. So it's kind of like when you look at the whole picture of it, I suppose he kind of is right, because I mean, the launch pad's still there, the tower's still there, the tanks are still there, albeit damaged. So it's not like they were completely destroyed or anything like that. So it's relatively cosmetic, I suppose, from his point of view. But yeah, they've done a lot of work, and they seem to have cleared up a lot of the stuff already. So I mean, he could be right. They could be ready to launch in 2 or 3 couple of months, but it depends on whether the FAA are going to say, well, yeah, you can launch. That's probably not up to them. they might be ready to go, but the FAA might say, not yet. The environmentalists are not very happy about it being blown up as well, apparently. So there's a bit of aggravation about that. How that's going to affect how the FAA look at this or not, I don't honestly know. Yeah. So yeah, by all accounts, it's going to be up to the FAA when they actually launch, not space. They're going to be ready by the looks of things, pretty quickly.
You'll be glad to have a look out in the chat. Multi Tom Tom's just informed you, of course, of a few things like.
Oh yeah. I'm not even going to bother. I know I can predict exactly what you're saying, and I'm not. I've seen it all before. I'm not even going to bother looking because I know exactly.
Blue Marble 1 was a painting, by the way, just despite all the evidence otherwise. But like the fact that they still got the negative for it. Anyway, and he's misunderstanding the water. I'm sure he can tell us why there's 40 meters of difference in level from the top of India to the bottom of level of India. I mean, we know why, but he doesn't like the idea of gravity, of course. But yes. Anyway, I can see quite a few people discussing with him. Let's put it out there. So I'll leave them to discuss.
So predictable. I'm not even going to look at the chat, and I know exactly what he's probably said. So I'm not. I really care. Don't care.
As long as he's not being rude and assaulting people, that's fine. And same to people.
I don't care about that either.
Avoid being too much the same. What have I got? I do have a quiz. You want to do a quiz?
Oh,
do a quiz.
Yeah, why not?
Let's start the quiz. Yeah, let's put that up there. I think. What have I got? I got screen 1 to have shared, so you should be able to see that if I do that, shouldn't you? In YouTube, can you see the quiz?
Yeah, we can see that.
Okay, good. I'll just get that out to our friends out here. There we go. Okay. Now, I threw this together the other week. I can't remember what's in it, actually. Be surprised to both of us. All of us. At the same time. So let's go. Okay, I hope it's a proper quiz. What's a proper quiz? Is that a really hard quiz, Spooky? Or is a proper quiz like Paul's a proper quiz? Or this is not test bollocks.
Yeah, I was going to say, what do you mean by proper quiz?
Yeah.
What do you call a proper quiz?
And I didn't know you tested your bollocks. But anyway, okay. Let's start off. What is the name given to Android 4.3? It was quite well known. Android 4.3.
Yeah, it's a.
Was it something to do with that marshmallow? Was it?
Is it
Jelly
no,
bean.
it was a bean. Jelly bean. That's it. I could think bean, but I couldn't read jelly bean. That's right.
Jelly bean. Yeah, it could have been. I can't.
Yeah.
Lose track of them.
Yeah.
Yes, ice cream sandwich. Nah, jelly bean. That was the one. Yes, no, there was one called ice cream sandwich, but no, 4.3 was jelly bean.
Hang on. What am I running on now?
Island in Indonesia.
You look like you're sitting down in your seat and you're not running at all.
No, I'm trying to see what software my phone's running on at the moment, but.
Yep, there we go.
Oh, I think I've dropped the silly names.
Yes, I think that one was fairly easy, Matt. Did you get that one?
That's pretty easy too.
Yeah, I knew. Oh, this one. I
Mind
have
a
no
cup
idea.
of Java right now.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Never thought of that. Java.
Java. Yes. Yeah. Yes, I put it up and before it, I hadn't even got to it. I already had 4 inches.
Yeah.
Universal stuff,
Okay.
actually.
Hmm?
You can drink it, travel to it, program with it.
Yeah.
There you go. Very good.
Good stuff, John.
Okay, so what was the Isle of Wight. No, definitely not. What was the nationality of Picasso?
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Say that again.
Well, actually, they used to give a month's notice.
Yeah.
Yes.
To give you a chance to repent first.
Yes, because they expected the Spanish Inquisition.
They did.
That's a bit like an
that's
eviction
half the
order.
joke of that Monty Python sketch when they say nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. They got a month's notice. And then they turned up and did nasty things to you.
Okay, I'm getting an overwhelming Spanish theme out
there.
and one spinach.
And one spinach. Okay. The villagers of a little Hangleton, sorry, I got it right, I think. Hangleton, yeah. Still called it the Riddle House. This is the first line of which piece of written work?
What clue?
Rings a very vague bell, but I can't place it.
In a crooked house. That's not the name of the work. No, definitely not the Bible. Vicky, definitely not the Bible. Okay, well, I have to see. The Riddle House is the big clue in that.
It'd be Harry Potter, would it?
It would. Which one? Tom Riddle being a character in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
There's a few books of Harry Potter.
We're gonna
You're
take
a
any
wizard,
guesses?
Harry.
You're a wizard, yeah. I got someone today. Not today. Yesterday. I said, Harry was 11 when he first. I said, no, Harry was 10. He had a birthday in the first chapter, so he started off as 10. It's Goblet of Fire. I'm not getting any answers out there. Yeah, Harry Potter, Goblet of Fire.
X used to
Harry
be into all
Potter
that
and the
guff.
Bible. Yes. What film has a professional thief who steals information by infiltrating the subconscious of his targets?
Ooh.
Begins with an I.
It does.
I'm having a senior moment.
Ringing some
Inception.
bells, I must admit.
Inception.
Inception.
All right, okay.
Oops. I'll put that back on. Inception. That is correct. It is Inception.
When they go inside dreams, within dreams at one point, I think.
Not contraception. That was the second.
Contraception speaker says, yeah.
Okay.
Right, but it's the rest of it that's a bit off.
Yes. Okay, now that you've had all the easy questions, now for a hard one.
Okay.
Okay. What is this formula?
1.
42.
Oh dear.
What is the formula of? Okay.
Well, Paul gets it, of course.
Okay.
No one.
Any irregular signal can be expressed as an inference superposition of the regular sine waves. Does that make it any easier?
It does. It does.
Yep. Seeing if anyone out there.
Nope.
Some of our more. Oh, there we go. We've got
Fourier transforms.
Fourier transforms. Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. Yes. There you go. That's the Fourier transform formula. I knew that might. I had no chance of getting this one, but I thought some people might like some of this. Okay. Next one. The history of Middle. Oh, this is pretty easy. History of Middle Earth was written by which?
Oh,
J.R.R. Tolkien.
Tolkien. That's it. Yeah.
Correct. Tolkien. And
yeah, I know the book. I just couldn't think of the
one book. Several books.
Read them once, never again.
Yeah.
It's one of the first novels I read. Actually, was The Hobbit. I got to admit, read from cover to cover. But
I think we did it at school at English literature. I think.
But I did find a Lord of the Rings that was very heavy going to get through those.
Yeah, very painful writing style. I just, like I say, I got through them, and it's like, yeah, I'm not reading them again.
It was You dropped an R. Yes. What is the symptomology of what? Start that again. What is symptomology the study of?
Symptoms?
Disease.
Symptom of the universe. Oh no, hang on a minute. That's a song. Shit.
Yeah, just symptoms. It's disease.
No, it's symptoms. All right, I was right. I was making a joke.
Yeah, no. I thought,
there you go.
throw some people.
Makes sense.
Sometimes it's not as tricky.
No, exactly.
Okay, which science deals with the motion of projectiles?
Mechanics.
Ballistics.
We got some ballistics.
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 Which is a subcategory of mechanics.
Yes. Very specific one that does with the motion of projectiles is ballistics.
Yeah, ballistics.
Okay. What is nutriology the study? Yeah, that's right. Nutriology the study of.
Nutrition. Yeah, it's got to be in it.
Nutrition? Yeah.
Yeah.
As I said, these are the easy ones. What animal is known to be man's best friend?
Oh, a dog. Woof woof.
My cat.
Yeah, my cat.
My cat. Okay, you ready? You've had your easy ones.
I want to know why Paul laughs every time he sees equations. Why does he laugh?
I'm waving to the audience. Does that mean anything, Timbo?
Yeah, it does.
About
We'll
waves.
see if it... Okay. In quantum mechanics, the state of an object cannot be described by its displacement, velocity, etc., as it is classical mechanics, but only by a function of a physical quantity.
Yeah.
So what's it called? Yikes, says.
You said that whole sentence without tripping up this time, Timbo.
Yeah,
Nice.
sometimes I can get it right.
Yeah. Well, Nerd Alert says wave function, so I'm going to go with that.
Yeah. It is actually
The wave equation.
Schrodinger's equation, which is a wave function. So I'd accept that, but that particular equation is Schrodinger's equation. What's Schrodinger? For all those who are fans of Big Bang Theory, what's Schrodinger famous for?
This damn cat.
Yeah.
Schrodinger's cat.
Schrodinger's cat. Do you know what the story of Schrodinger's cat is, Matt?
No, I don't.
Farmers?
No.
No idea. Okay. Both cats. Well, is it both
Carl
cats or
Edwards
one
said
cat?
dead cat. He said, well, Carl Edwards said, he says dead cat, and then he says live cat, and then he said both cats. Both alive and dead.
No, there's only one cat.
Both alive, both dead and alive. And
It's only one
look
cat.
at-
It's only one cat.
Yeah, it's only one cat.
Yeah.
But he's both dead and alive.
Yeah.
Until you
He's
observe
just
him.
undecided.
You have a cat in a box. You don't know whether the cat is alive or dead until you actually open
I'll
the
tell you
box.
what, if I've got a cat in a box,
You're
I
very
know
sure.
if the bugger's alive.
Yes, I have.
Schrodinger's cat, wanted dead and alive.
Yes. Ripping yarns, yep. Okay. What animal is covered in quills?
Porcupines.
Porcupine is correct. What other animal is covered in quills?
Hedgepigs.
Echidna.
Echidnas.
Anything that gets too close to a porcupine.
That's a good answer. No, echidna.
Yeah.
Echidna would have been the other answer I would have accepted. Okay.
That's what hedgehogs got.
What is a newly hatched butterfly called?
Baby butterfly? I don't know.
Baby butterfly. Actually, I don't know if I like this one because it says caterpillar. And I said, nah, that's not right.
What?
Yeah.
No.
You hatch butterfly. That's the
It's a caterpillar before it's hatched.
butterfly.
Yeah. So
exactly.
I reckon they're wrong on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. A flutterby. Yeah, I like that one.
Flutterby, yeah. Oh, no.
Okay. What does the skin, I think that is, of a snake after it has been shed? What?
That makes sense, Timbo.
No, it doesn't, does it? What does the
let me ask
snake
that
of after it
question
has
with
shed
let
it?
me ask that question without reading it. What do you call the skin of a snake after it has been shed?
Oh, yeah, there is a name for it. Can't remember. Don't know.
I don't know.
I don't speak English, by the way, quite clearly. English is not my first language, but I don't have any other to fall back on either. So,
English is not your first language.
Wouldn't be called a malt, would it?
It would be called a malt. That is correct.
Oh, he's just googled that.
No, because that's what they do.
They malt.
That's what happens when.
Yeah.
True. A malt. Yeah.
So it's called a malt. A bilt. Now that's what you do with the snake, not the skin, not the malted skin. The rest of the snake.
Snake skin.
Turn it into a bilt. What is the process called when a reptile detaches their tail when they are in danger and then regrow it?
Really cool.
Yeah, quite handy.
Weird.
Dropping.
I didn't know there was a term for it.
Most animals have droppings, but that's not what this is called.
No.
Retaliation.
Retaliation. Okay. It
Bloody
is
good
called
idea.
Cordia autonomy.
Oh.
You can just call it autonomy. Apparently that's the Greek word for drop, I think. I can't remember. It's like I can't remember what it is now, actually. I'll have to look it up again. Anyway, that's what it's called. Cordia autonomy has a name. Oh, autotomy, not autonomy, says Nerd Alert. You could be right. I'll have to check that one.
Autotomy. Yeah, if you look at it, it says autotomy.
Yeah.
Autotomy, yeah.
Autotomy.
Not autonomy. Yeah.
Okay. What do you call a cocktail consisting of coconut, milk, rum, and pineapple?
Pina colada.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was quick. Spooky.
I used to make them once upon a time.
Spooky beat you. Yeah. And a hangover, says Carl. Yes.
Yeah. And a hangover. Well, I don't know. Actually, I sat at a bar one night and I drank several pina coladas, and it didn't really affect me that much. I was a bit pissed, but I felt fine the next day.
Okay, you ready for the next hard one? Okay, what's this formula?
Oh God, formula again.
I know. It says, oh, do you not? Is that you know, but you don't know? Time travel. No, Carl, it is not time travel. It needs another T and a couple of S's in there to be time travel.
I don't know why. I'm not on. I'm saying this honestly, but for some reason I've no clue what it is. But it kind of looks familiar somehow. I don't know why.
It could do.
Seen it somewhere. Yeah.
Describes the behaviour of a flowing fluid. Water moving through a pipe, air over an airplane wing, or smoke rising from a cigarette. Does that give any clues out there?
In rocket engines, they quite often talk about fluid flow when you're calculating.
Hang on, isn't the delta symbol upside down?
I don't know.
The Navier-Stokes equation.
Yep, there we go. I think that's right. The Navier-Stokes equations.
There you go.
There you go. Perspective. No, it's not perspective. There you go. Next one. How many balls are there on a pool table at the start of a game?
8.
Oh, we've got an 8. You reckon? You sure?
I think it's 8.
17.
17.
This is pool, not snooker though.
We've got 11 by Carl, and we've got 16 by Bed here. Have we got any other? Anyone going to take a? Oh, we've got 2 16s. It is 16.
17.
Oh, 16.
So where's the cue ball?
I'm half wrong.
There's a cue ball and 15 others. This is
Oh.
pool.
I'm way out.
That's 16.
Half that.
Yeah, it's 16. Oh, let's go through them. How many are there on when you play billiards?
Don't play billiards.
You don't play billiards?
No.
Snooker, maybe. But...
No, yeah, billiards. It's 3 in billiards. And
it's 21 in snooker.
21 in snooker, yeah. And 9 in April. Who invented peanut butter? There you go. I'll give you extra points if you can get this one.
Who invented peanut butter? Very, very, brilliant guy. Peanut butter.
The Peanut Gallery invented peanut butter, yes. An African American guy. Oh, don't know. Don't think so.
Well,
Could
according to Google, it's Marcellus Gilmore Edson.
That's what I came up with.
A Canadian, apparently.
A Canadian, yes.
He patented peanut paste, the finished product from milling and roast peanuts between 2 heated surfaces.
Yep, that's right.
And then in 1895, Dr. John Harvey Kellogg, the creator of Kellogg's cereal, patented the process of creating peanut butter from raw peanuts.
Yes.
So, yeah.
He's a bit of a nutter.
John Kellogg. Ha ha! We did there.
You saw what I did there?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a bit of a nutter, and he was a bit of a nutter. Mr. Kellogg's. Okay. The films The King's Speech and The English Patient feature which English actor?
Oh, blimey, a picture of his face. I just can't think bloody name.
You can picture his face. If you watch the movie, I'm sure you see his face.
I have. The King's Speech. Yeah, The King's Speech. I've seen it. I can't. Why can't I think of his name?
Colin.
Colin Firth.
There you go.
Colin Firth, that's it.
Colin Firth,
Yeah,
that
Colin
is
Firth.
correct.
So he played the king, didn't he, with the stutter?
Yeah,
He did.
that's right. Yep. Colin Firth. That's it.
Okay. In which comedy film does Aretha Franklin star as a proprietress of a soul food joint?
Would that be the Blues Brothers?
Oh, the Blues Brothers, yeah.
Yeah.
Have a little respect.
Blues Brothers, yes. Look at that out there. In St. Louis, Missouri, it is illegal for a firefighter to rescue who?
It's got to be something weird.
It's
Your
going to be,
mother-in-law.
isn't it? Yeah.
Your mother-in-law.
Cats up trees. I
The
don't know.
mayor. No, not the mayor. Not the mother-in-law.
Oh, why not? What
It
kind
is
of
a
people
female. Or is of the female persuasion.
I don't know.
If he can't rescue himself, I don't think it's illegal for them to rescue themselves. Herself. That's not quite a... Okay. A prostitute. In the right situation, that would be correct. But no, not a prostitute. Okay. The answer is undressed women.
Really?
If they're wearing a nightmail. So
Help, my house is on fire. Go and put some clothes on.
go put some clothes on before
Yeah,
I take you out.
I bet you that's one of those laws that are not enforced. I bet you any money.
It sounds like to me it's one of those ones that's come about from a lawsuit or something. Who knows? It's just a bit.
Yeah, I mean it's like in
there's
Britain here. In Britain, in the UK, it's actually illegal to serve somebody alcohol that's drunk.
Yes.
But, I mean, everybody goes to the pub and everybody goes to clubs and they're all drunk. So it's one of those laws that are just never enforced. And I bet this is one of them.
This is just Missouri, just no St. Louis, Missouri, not the whole of the United States.
Yeah.
Sorry, disappointing.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine that being enforced. I really can't.
Okay. Now this is a bit more easy one.
Still don't know.
Paul, you don't have to answer. But...
Can you give us a clue? What does the Z signify?
Okay.
Z mean?
This might give it away. This set is one of the most amazing discoveries in the realm of mathematics. We can find the same iconic shapes in patterns created by many other equations. Nerd Alert's already got it.
Fractal. What's that? Mandelbrot.
Mandelbrot set.
Yes. Yes.
What does that do then?
The Mandelbrot set.
What it says on the screen, I suppose.
You might need to type it in if you're not familiar with the Mandelbrot set, but yes, it's a very, very, very popular image. The Mandelbrot set and a repeating fractal. So the more you zoom in or zoom out, you see the same patterns and shapes recurring. Yeah. Used to be when back in the 80s, 90s, used to use the Mandelbrot set to test how good a computer was because it took a bit of processing power. Nowadays you wouldn't even think about it, but back then it was a bit of a thing.
So the Mandelbrot set is the set of values of C in the complex plane for which the orbit of the critical point remains.
Did you look at image? Did you look at the images?
Yeah, I've just looked. Oh, yeah, it comes with an image.
You've seen that before?
It's on the wiki.
Yeah,
it looks familiar. Yeah, I've seen.
You would have seen that before. Yeah, it's the Mandelbrot set.
Oh yeah, that. Yeah. That reoccurring pattern.
Fractal. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. What was banned in Indonesia for stimulating passion?
Oh, was it holding hands in public? I think or something, isn't it? I know you're not allowed to do that.
No, kissing, no.
Hugging.
Red Bull.
Was that? Tea,
Red
no.
Bull.
It was
that stimulates passion. Something does it? It stimulates something.
I have no idea. It's supposed to give you wings, but it don't give me.
I'll tell you what. It's a fad, or it was a fad or a craze, depending on how you like to describe these things.
Could be a silly bloody dance, isn't it?
Yeah, like a twist or something.
My Google foo is powerful, and I'm laughing at the answer. Hula hoops.
Hula hoops. Oh, really? Oh, right. Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you got to twist your hips a little bit. I suppose to them it's a bit suggestive. I mean, honestly, Indonesia, I swear to God, it's obviously it's a Muslim country, and they ban literally everything. Every year there's something else that's banned.
Yes. Although I did hear they're going to take away the death penalty for bringing in drugs. Oh, well, some drugs.
Yeah.
Generally, which component of a computer draws the most power? Power as in electricity.
Probably now, if you look at solid state hard drives, you're probably looking at the fans, maybe.
The plug
card. The plug. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. No, there are a few correct answers out there, but I do like your answer.
Well, the graphics.
Well, it's all got to go through the plug that plugs into the wall. Come on.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I do like that one. Yes, it is the GPU, the video card.
The video card, yeah. Okay.
Yes, draws the most power. Okay. BASIC, the computer language that is a misspelt anagram for...
It is all-purpose symbolic instruction code.
Yeah.
Oh, you weren't meant to get it that quick.
I remember BASIC.
Yeah.
Did that at school.
Yes, that's correct.
10 print hello. 20 go to 10.
Yes. I remember having to write numbers. I haven't had to write numbers down for a long time in BASIC, but yes. Beginners all-purpose symbolic instruction code, just to be very specific. Which Spooky got and Paul got. Carl tried to get, but he just missed symbolic. It was close. I think he just forgot to type it. Okay, what is the name of Duke Milan who cast a spell on a ship in the Tempest?
Not a notion.
Can't remember that one.
No, Spooky, you got it right. Beginner's all-purpose symbolic logic code. No.
Instruction code, not logic code.
Instruction
got it
code.
almost right.
It's got to be I. Oh, sorry, yeah.
Basic.
It's got to be I. Instruction code.
Antonio.
Antonio. Prospero, yes. Carl Edwards got it right twice because he typed it twice.
Oh, yeah.
Did you spell it wrong? Oh, you did.
No, I'm still none the wiser. You're giving me the answer and I'm still none the wiser. I've never heard of it.
You obviously haven't read the Tempest.
It's Shakespeare.
No,
Shakespeare.
you give me the answer and I still don't know the answer.
Okay. What animal breathes out of its butt?
Oh. Somebody mentioned this recently. Oh.
Oh, it's one of those things that you should remember for playing trivs, and I never can.
Yeah.
The turtle.
Somebody mentioned this. Somebody mentioned this recently in Discord. Don't remember. Carl Edwards says the turtle.
The turtle.
Could be.
It is. Turtles breathe out of the backsides.
A turtle, not the turtle. Yeah.
Turtles generally. A turtle does breathe out of the backside.
Spooky says a bee.
Yeah, and there we go.
A bee. Bee breathes out of his
thank you
butt.
very much.
Yeah. Sure, it's about 2 hours. There we go.
You do realise it was Antonio and not Prospero.
Oh, was it?
Prospero was the brother of Antonio. Antonio was the one. Antonio was the one who did the curse. I have to disagree with your answer there.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not going to.
Come on, anyone who's done Shakespeare at school would know that.
Yeah, I didn't do Tempest today.
I did Shakespeare.
I didn't do the Tempest at school.
No, I didn't either.
We did the sex and violence one, so we did Macbeth, Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, Macbeth! Oh, Jesus! I basically did a year and a half of Macbeth because we had it in drama for 1 year and then another half a year in bloody English literature. Macbeth.
Well, not only did we do Macbeth, we got taken as a class to the cinema to watch Roman Polanski's Macbeth, which I believe he made not long after his wife and to-be child were brutally murdered. And a lot of his anger was put into the film. We were quite surprised. I think our teacher was as well.
British map backing. Won't play that, but very different to the other one. Sorry guys, I was just putting on just for a sec. I think I'll throw one of Everett very quickly. This will,
oh yeah, always got time for a bit of Everett.
Put on some Everett. Sorry, I haven't got it out. There we go. Put it out there. Do that. Play.
Earth is a plane. That's what the history books say. That's what science say. Water always seeks its level.
Yeah, actually, I totally saw this coming.
We can't be on a globe, people.
Sleep on it. Maybe you'll reconsider.
All the archaeological evidence.
Can you say that again? Just the way you said it. Just the same way.
Archaeological evidence.
I don't know and I don't want to know.
Proves Earth is a big plane. Nobody's on a big old globe. Boats are not flying over the ocean, curving all under.
Well, it's probably a good thing. I don't know if you want to go around doing that.
People are not upside down on Antarctica.
Huh?
Water can't stick to the bottom of a globe. They say Earth is a sphere. A sphere is solid. Nobody's standing upside down, people.
Logical.
Upside
Flawlessly
down.
logical.
And once you understand, Satan, T minus.
Oh, now I see. Now I get it. Now the pieces are falling into place.
Ain't that what they say? T minus.
Right. If you minus T, you get sand.
Bastard, could I have my mojo, please?
Your air conditioning on, your heat on, all this circles. Just like on Earth, we get condensation, the rain. Come on, people. This is where you stay, not right here.
Oh, dear.
No, come on now. That ain't even bullshit. That's horseshit. No, it's no atmosphere here. You got to have some kind of barrier to keep your air in. What's going to hold the water in? You can't keep saying gravity. When gravity allows butterflies to float. But it's putting water, millions of water together.
Hey, there was a phone call for you while you were out. Some village saying that their idiot was missing. I covered for you. Yeah, you might want to call him back.
Okay.
I will go and get you some nice crayons.
In 2020.
Yeah.
It was an awakening.
What?
What happened to all the flurfers before then?
It was an awakening, people.
Hi, I'm orange like mac and cheese. Let's name other orange things now, if you please. You got pumpkins and tigers and the desert sand. Monarch
Prescription
butterflies
bottles.
are your orange friends.
2021. That's one
like
line.
a pair of hairy boots.
Yeah, 2022. That's two lines.
Yeah, I know.
You could probably guess yellow's pretty fun.
John
You
Dad.
can find it on a bus or the race
John
from the sun.
Dad.
If you ask me, yellow's number
Liver
one.
failure.
You like yellow and sour,
John
then
Dad.
try a lemon.
2023. Ain't this your 2023. That's your lip.
The ocean is a place where creatures
Nightmares.
live. It's a deep blue sea.
And
It's
it'll
a
kill you to
city.
death, especially if you are on Titanic, so let that sink in. Pun intended.
2024.
This is very sad.
That
This is
shit
very
no.
sad.
Purple is the color of many pretty things, from a lilac.
Do you not see what it is? The creator is speaking.
What
Oh, gee.
the hell was
Oh,
that?
gee. Oh, that is.
I'm so damn confused.
That is sad.
Bonkers, absolutely bonkers.
Oh, dear. Yes, it is a bit sad. Ah, dear. What have I got left?
Yeah, the Antarctical. Yeah, that's a new one.
Antarctical, that was a good one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, for the Antarctical. Nobody. I have. Yes, it was. Let's just say, apart from being contrived, it was like you've ended up with a face. Okay.
You gotta treat that guy the same way as you treat mine, Brian Mabbitt. Just don't take him at all seriously.
What you mean,
mad.
Brian? Is telling the truth?
No, I said don't take him seriously. Nobody should take Brian seriously.
But Brian is an expert in everything. I've heard him tell them.
Yeah.
That guy falls into the category of if all the village idiots in all the villages got together to create their own village, he'd still be the village idiot in that village.
Yeah.
Yes, he was a bit of a case. Ah, look, I've got to play this one. This was one we didn't play last week. This is the metric system.
Oh no. Blue, you better block your ears. It's the metric system. Americans in the chat, you better leave right now. You're not gonna like this.
Particularly if it's from American National Bureau of
The
Standards.
world uses the same languages for playing chess and telling time and reading music. When the United States converts to the metric system, the world will then also use the same language for measurement. In the beginning was the barley corn. 3 barley corns equaled the inch. The foot equaled the foot. King Henry's waistline, the yard. And 1,000 two-step paces of a Roman soldier, the mile. The inch. The inch was divided into halves, fourths, eighths, 16ths, 32nds, 64ths. 12 inches equaled a foot. 3 feet equaled a yard. And 1,760 yards equaled a mile. This system does have its problems. A simple computation such as finding the number of inches in a mile is never that simple. But now, there is a better way. And it is based entirely on the meter. The meter is about 39 inches long, slightly larger than the yard. But unlike the yard, the meter is divided into 10 decimeters.
You went the last time you used a decimeter.
Or 100 centimeters. Or 1,000 millimeters. 1,000 meters are called a kilometer or kilometer. In addition to milli, centi, deci, and kilo, there is deca, which means 10, and hecto, which means 100.
Nathan, doesn't it?
By knowing these prefixes, you are halfway toward knowing the metric
Can't convert meters into kilometers.
Yes, as I say. I remember when I first came, last time I ever used a deci, a deci, or a hecto. I can't say. It's very common.
Oh, yeah. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
System. Now, many calculations are merely a matter of moving the decimal point, not the pencil. But there is more to the metric system than length. The volume of a cube having each side equal to 1 decimeter, or 1/10 of a meter, is called a liter. The liter is slightly larger than the quart, but unlike the quart, the liter is divided into 1,000 cubic centimeters, or 1,000 milliliters. The milliliter and the cubic centimeter are exactly the same. When holding pure water at a specific temperature, the liter has a weight of 1 kilogram. Since kilo means 1,000, a kilogram means 1,000 grams. The gram weighs about 0.035 ounces, or a weight close to that of a pushpin. So 1,000 pushpins should weigh a kilogram, or about 2.2 pounds. Of course...
Why would you use a pushpin as your reference? I suppose he was trying to find something that's about a gram, but it's sort of like, okay, a pushpin?
Liters and grams may seem a little confusing. That is, until they are put into practical use. But let's see just how simple the old system is. There was the grain, 437.5 of which made the ounce. 16 ounces made a pound. And 2,000 pounds the ton. As for volume, 2 jiggers were a jack, 2 jacks a jill, 2 jills a cup, 2 cups a pint, 2 pints a quart, 2 quarts a puddle, 2 puddles a gallon, 2 gallons a pail, 2 pails a peck, 4 pecks a bushel, 2 bushels a strike, 2 strikes a coomb, 2 coombs a cask, 2 casks a barrel, 2 barrels a hogshead, 2 hogsheads a pipe, 2 pipes a ton. And there, my friends, that story is done. Besides length, weight, and volume, there is one more important measurement to know in the metric system: temperature. Celsius temperature. All scientists use Celsius, formerly centigrade, thermometers, simply because they are more logical and easier to use. In temperature Celsius, boiling water...
I think you actually use them the same. It's easier to read. Might be technically correct.
...is at 100 degrees, while the temperature of melting ice is at 0 degrees. Although all scientists use Celsius thermometers, only the poor American scientist has to go home to Fahrenheit. system was born during the throes of the French Revolution. While in the process of finding a new political structure for their country, the National Assembly also requested that a new standard for weights and measures be found.
I don't know if you're still out there, Multi-Tom, but last week you said the system came from the English. Just pay attention here.
This job was delegated to a committee headed by the famous chemist Antoine Lavoisier. After many days of contemplation, Lavoisier defined the new unit of length, the meter, as 1/10,000,000th the distance from the North Pole to the equator. Unfortunately, he did not know what this distance was. At once, he commissioned 2 surveyors to measure the fraction of the distance that lay between Dunkirk and Barcelona. 7 years later, the meter was unveiled to the world.
Bit meter volt.
The world's future standard of measurement was now based on one piece of metal stored in a vault in France. It could neither be scratched, nor stolen, nor lost, for there was no replacement. Scientists couldn't even return to Lavoisier's original measurement because the surveyor's calculations were slightly in error.
No, they're not current. No, look, this is 73, 71 this was made.
It was inevitable that a more universal and less fragile standard of the meter had to be found. Light travels in waves. The length of a wave is determined by the distance from one crest to the next. In 1960, the official meter stick became this many wavelengths emitted by the element krypton. Now, any well-equipped laboratory can have this master standard. In 1965, Great Britain began the conversion to the metric system. In 1968, Australia and New Zealand followed suit. In 1970, Canada committed itself to the metric system, leaving the United States as the only non-metric industrial nation in the world.
Yeah, I heard about the U.S. going metric. What I don't understand is why we have to go metric just because the rest of the world does. I thought we stood on our own and didn't let anybody shove us around. Yeah. You want my opinion? I think the whole thing is nuts. Nuts!
You know, he is partly right. Going metric has a lot to do with nuts and bolts. When designing a piece of machinery, it's easier to round off numbers. Although a nut rounded off to 8 millimeters is very close in size to one rounded to 5/16 of an inch, it's not close enough. Metric parts fit only metric machines, and American parts fit only American machines. Because of this, countries using the metric system are reluctant to buy American products that need special tools or special replacement parts. This unavoidable incompatibility wastes a lot of time and a lot of money. Only when the United States converts to the metric system will this frustration come to an end.
Let's just say, since they haven't converted, that this film was not the most successful film that they in terms of promotion.
And you know, Timbo, even when they do convert to the metric system, they still get it wrong because they can't spell meter properly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, it was a fun film.
Yeah.
I found about. Next week we can learn about alcohol. That's a fun film too. As you can imagine. What do we got to finish off with? I've got Creaky. What's Wally or Creaky?
Oh, by the way, did you know that Farmer's Boy? Did you know that we've got a new British astronaut for the European Space Agency? It's a woman.
Oh, didn't know that.
And she's from Northern Ireland.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. No, that must have passed me by. I hadn't spotted that at all.
Yep. Yeah, the new class of 2022 for ESA astronauts. Yeah, British. One of those British female from Northern Ireland.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, I bet to ask you. I've got a Wally or a Creaky.
Oh, a bit of Wally. You got to have a
Wally?
bit of Wally, surely.
Bit of Wally. I forget which.
Everybody
Wally
else
it is.
agree? Unless you want
Oh,
Creaky, I don't know.
yeah. Because I've got a funny feeling I haven't actually watched this one yet.
Yeah, I think this is the last one. Oh, come on.
I always enjoy a little bit of Wally.
Why won't that? I hate it when you click on the link and it won't open. Let's try again. Do it this way. There we go. Oops. Stop. Gotta put it out to the.
Yeah, put it full screen.
Yeah, and put it in full screen. There we go. It's only 5 minutes. Sorry, just checking. Did I still lose this on? I did. Yeah, we'll put that back to normal time. Okay.
Yeah, gotta be at full speed.
G'day everybody, where's Wally here? Well, I enjoy a good rocket launch, and today's there was plenty of really cool things to see. This was the SpaceX Viasat-3 expendable mode launch. Now, first of all, it was direct to geosynchronous orbit. This means the customer wants all the speed possible and is prepared to pay for it.
Yep.
And just notice that the boosters and the core do not have landing legs.
No.
They won't be needing those, so why take them with? And no returns also means no dueling rocket engines either during the boost back. I'm going to miss that. One fun point though is the initial stage of the rocket did enter the sunlight from around T plus 2 minutes 50 seconds for just a very short time. Now the rest of the launch was all pretty standard stuff.
Booster engine cut off. Side booster separation confirmed.
We missed the launch. Oh.
Both side boosters FTS is safed.
They are now falling back down.
Yeah, I mean,
But the next bit is where the fun started, at T29:39.
Now this burn should last just about 2 minutes and starting any second now.
When stage 2 engines started up for a second time. Now just watch all that frozen mice falling off as the Gs kick in. Oh, and is that the moon right there near the exhaust? I guess it is. At T plus 4 hours, 22 minutes and 13 seconds, they start stage 2 engine for a third time. And look at all those frozen mice sliding off and going in front of the booster. Yeah,
sorry to pause it. First I heard it, I thought he said frozen mice.
Oh no, don't say that. Just behave, will you?
Sit in front.
Yeah.
See that speed? See how rapidly it's dropping? Yeah, they've spun it around and they're hitting the brakes pretty hard to slow it way down now that they're right at the delivery destination. Now, I've never seen them do it this way before. They just punch the satellites right up to 35,000 kilometres, and then they need to have zero speed. To be geostationary, you need to be kind of stationary. And wow, from 6,800 kilometres an hour right down to just a few hundred. That's some deceleration there, guys. Next is the deploy. And this is just FE smacking troll-worthy stuff. And they've done a very perfect job of scaling the Earth just right too. See, Starman was around 5,000 kilometres and this is 35,000 kilometres, so 7 times further. That means the Earth will appear to be around 7 times smaller, because perspective and stuff. And we see the Earth photobombing so many times. Really cool, guys. Even during deploy. Oh, and I just love that guy's t-shirt. That's going to get some comments. At T4 hours 39:25, deployment of the second satellite is just great. And yes, that's Australia there.
That's a good shot.
At T4 hours 40:41, what are we waiting for? Oh yeah, pump that into space. And finally, no Wally video of the Earth from space would be complete without comparing it to Himawari 8 image. I'm going to call that a match. And I hope you enjoyed that as much as the flatties are really going to hate it. Now, don't forget to do yourself a favour and click subscribe and tickle the algorithm with a like too. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
It's almost the right distance too. The Himawari one, yeah.
Stay for Art Club if you want to, yeah. Is that the school? Yeah, is that at the school?
No, it's in space, Matt.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, what time does it finish?
I can't pause it. Where's the
About 3:30. Okay. All right. So you'd probably be home about 4:15 then. That's fine. Yeah.
I'll just mute him for a second.
Oh!
Sure, he doesn't want us to listen to that.
Sorry about that, guys. I didn't realise I had my microphone still on.
It's okay. But you're saying it's at the school, and I say no, it's out in space.
That was my son ringing me. He wants to stay for our art club at the end.
I'm not sure. I think we're just listening to the wonderful sounds of this 3D milling machine he's got.
I can't even hear anything.
No,
Can't you hear that?
No. It's Zoom.
I'm not sure what he's doing, but anyway. There you go. Don't know what the last bit of that was about, but anyway. So there we That was our friend Wally.
Oh.
And I've got one last. Well, we've got a few minutes to before we finish up. I've got one last Everett. Let me put that one on. Very tricky, you can be set doing another time. Oh, hang on. Sorry, I got this one. This was a Starship. Tell me. Real or fake?
That is a model.
Yeah, I know it's a model.
It's real, but it's a model. Yeah.
You think it's a real model? I reckon it's a fake. I think it's
No, well, I think it's real because I know there was a guy that was appearing on YouTube. He was trial and error with a model rocket that landed again. I know he was going through all kinds of different problems and tests and all the rest of it. So I'm going to say real, I think.
Yeah. I'm not sure myself, but
yeah.
It's a few impressive people saying that it was animation.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was real, but I can't be sure.
Yeah, I think it's CGI.
I reckon it's CGI. The thing that I reckon gave it away was, or to me anyway, was the killer. Was the last bit at the end here when it has a little retro rocket at the top to stop it falling over. Not far enough.
Yeah, I only literally saw the last 10 seconds.
That little retro rocket just there.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, that's a bit.
Yeah, I don't think so. Having that.
See what you're saying about that.
Yeah. It was good. I mean, obviously they got some good footage to do it, but yeah. No. So there we go. So I'm just going to finish one last Everett, and we might call it a night.
So I'm definitely like a flat earther or something. I just know it's not a globe.
Wonderful.
Whether it's flat, whether it's concave, it's 100% not a sphere.
I was awoken by the sound of mockery. Where is it? Show me the object of ridicule.
And I have no intentions on trying to convince somebody either way, because it took me years to really realize it.
Good news, everyone. I'm a horse's butt. I am. That's not good news at all, you little...
I just have a simple question that I think most people can answer, especially Americans. Knowing the way this country has operated throughout history, the way it has consistently lied to the citizens of this country.
Wow. The interesting thing about that is...
I mean, of all the things we know that they've lied about and a million things that we don't know that they lied about, I think we can agree on one thing.
$10 says you're wrong.
When the elite strike gold, they keep it to themselves. Why would they tell us about outer space? They don't even teach us how to do taxes. Like, come on, yo.
Oh, you were trying to say something smart there, weren't you? Weren't you? Oh my God, that's so cute. Go ahead, try it again. Try saying something smart again.
The government. Now, does the government have a track record of lying to us?
Come on, you'll say something intelligent eventually.
What you need to do is what I had to do, is step back and look at the evidence that quote-unquote proved the earth was a sphere. That's all you have to do to figure out the earth is flat.
Nothing at all? Okay, well, the next time you try to say something smart, let me know, because I gotta record it on my iPhone.
Flat earthers do believe the earth is round. Flat earthers don't believe the earth is a sphere.
That's whatever you're talking about for you.
You have to just question everything you were taught. You'll start to see the indoctrination, all the images that pretty much brainwashed that we've been seeing again and again and again.
That's it, mister. You just lost your brain privileges.
Like believing that we landed on the moon. That's just cap. And there's actually a woman on this app that has dismantled that entire production.
Bring her in here, you knock her out with this ether, and you stuff her into this garment bag. Anyone sees you do the same. Oh, hi, Tobias.
Yo, for people that don't believe in God, I get it. And I get it because I've been there. But let me share a little bit of why I was there.
Don't.
Because I believed in everything else that was being told to me.
Yeah, well, hey, I'm really sorry.
I believed in the sun, the moon, solar system, galaxies. All this goofy shit I believed in because it kept being told to me, but rejected the idea of God.
You've reached your limit on talking. Shut the fuck up.
Honestly, I'm a little embarrassed that I just fell for everything so easily.
Oh, there's a big surprise!
I used to pride myself on not being as gullible as a lot of people around me.
Come on, folks, you know this one. It's an old favorite. All together.
Yes, that's a good saying. What was the flat Earth prediction? Oh no, that was the one we watched before.
Yeah.
Oh, yep. We watched that one already. Oh well. There we go. Anyone got any announcements? Anything happening in the next little while? Any predictions? I predict that there will be no new stuff. You're gone.
I'm gonna do a bit of shilling actually. Dead Kennedy in Space. I don't know if you've heard of his channel. He's kind of come back again. He's made a bit of a comeback. He's been a bit of a hard time recently in his life. And he did a live stream the other day, and he's a completely different character now because he was living somewhere where he was having an absolute nightmare landlord. Terrible time. But yeah, so yeah, look up his channel, Dead Kennedy in Space. I'll maybe put a link.
You know, considering what he's gone through in the last couple of years, when you look at some of the videos he's put out over that time, he's done some brilliant stuff.
Yeah.
And when you hear the sort of shit he was putting up with, blimey.
I think I might have.
Yeah, basically, his landlord was an absolute total and utter conspiracy nut, as well as being an ultra right wing Nazi, basically. And this guy was spouting stuff at him like almost daily, as well as just being a horrible pain in the ass landlord on top of it. It was yeah, wasn't pleasant for him.
Good. Sorry, I thought for a sec I stuffed
there you
up
go.
and the last ones didn't get it. Okay, so people, you followed that one out. Well,
there you go. I'll put his link to his channel in the chat there for people if they want it.
It's just stepped over to tomorrow, so thanks for Peanuts for coming and being out with me and all my stuffing around tonight. And I don't think a few problems, but we got there in the end.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to say goodnight to the Peanuts?
Not like
Peanuts.
Peanuts. And again, I'll set up again on Saturday. We'll see you guys then.
Good night.
No. They can still hear us. Good night out there. Say good night, Brim, for all of us. Thanks for coming. Do appreciate it.
You're all whack. No, hang on. They can still hear us.
They can still hear us. Don't say that. Don't say that.
What?
I've got to find the right button. I can't find my button. Where's my button? Disappeared on me. There it is. I had it ready to go and then missed it. See you guys.